Welcome back to the Box2Box podcast.
This is episode 26, and today we will be doing the bracket challenge for the best midfield trios in the world.
And Enzo Maresca wins the manager of the month. Is he the answer to all of Chelsea's problems?
And England need a new manager. Is Thomas Tuchel the answer?
All that and more on the Box2Box podcast.
Let's go.
You ain't going home,
Your
bro.
Honor, I'm sorry. Your Honor, I'm sorry.
If we don't compete with City, this is a failure of a season. You've heard
Okay,
it
so
here first.
I can already tell you, I'll tell you in advance, you failed.
I'm going to take central midfielder Federico Valverde.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's
He has
crazy.
been the worst midfielder for Real Madrid this season.
That's like saying Neymar was the worst player in MSN. Boys, not too much happened in the world of football, but how's our week's been?
Same old, same old. It's really boring with international football, I'm not going to lie. Have you guys watched any of the games?
I've watched, I caught a couple.
Italy game. We playing pretty good.
Up until 40 minutes.
And, yeah, that's true.
Until the player that
Until,
shouldn't have an Italy shirt on got a red card.
Yeah.
But
No, he's
Great tackle, guys.
brother, he is not Azzurri quality anymore.
He's one
then-
of the best, in my opinion.
Yeah, he is.
For Italy,
Pellegrini.
though, an Italian footballer, Pellegrini is one of the best.
No.
Maybe
But he
bench
hasn't
player.
shown his potential.
And he
Did you
exudes-
see how cooked the Italian national team is? That our manager is saying that the Italian national team needed a player like Daniel Maldini with his technical quality.
I mean, that's just
Yes,
enough.
he
Spalletti
said that.
said that?
We
Yeah.
are cooked.
But apparently he's a pretty
Daniel
technical
Maldini
player.
in the Prem
For-
plays for Southampton. That's
No.
what. That's his level.
No,
Well,
not
he's at
even.
Monza
Here we
right
go.
now.
Not even, bro.
He's also very young. Huh? He's
Professional,
like
yeah,
22.
Bro, Daniel Maldini compare, and this is like England's 12th winger. Like Tyler Dibbling, is better than Daniel
No,
Maldini.
that's
so stupid.
Yes, he
the
is.
idea of Dibbling is better than Maldini, but
He is better.
Maldini's had years of experience in Serie A as a young
And he's
player.
done. I'm gonna refrain from using swear words this episode.
I'm gonna
He's
refrain
done.
from using swear
Let's use a nice word. Nothing. A balanced word.
And what has Dibbling done?
Scored a goal in the
Ugat.
Prem, which is more than Daniel Maldini will ever do, bro.
Bro, Maldini literally won a Scudetto. Put some
How
respect.
many performances?
It doesn't matter, bro.
Multiple.
He actually
Anyway,
scored, whatever.
now I'm going to speak to the Serie A guys. If his name was Maldino instead of Maldini,
A lot would
called
change.
then he's basically, well, we never probably would have heard of
Bro,
him.
Pisili got called up for our squad.
I'm very
Brother,
surprised at that.
Brother,
But are you expecting-
Pisili got called up to our squad.
but what do you say?
Are you expecting the cream of the crop to get called up for a Nations League, brother? This is voluntary for most people.
Go look at the squads of the best countries in the world.
Yeah, and
Once
Mbappe
again, I was
goes-
gonna swear again. I was gonna swear again.
Yeah, because Mbappe
No
says I
brother
only
named
want to play
Pisili
the
is getting
big
called
games.
up to other serious teams.
So when we
get
beat
this straight.
France, when we should have beat.
So when it comes tournament time, are you expecting to beat France? We beat them in the Nations League, and you're holding on to
With
it
their
like
starting lineup.
like it's a World Cup win.
But I'm saying the results are there. Let Spalletti cook, bro. Your Italian citizenship has been revoked.
Yanked.
It's
Yeah,
yanked.
no.
Been
Been
yanked.
yanked.
It's been yanked.
But let me get
Brother,
this straight, bro. You don't want vets. You don't want youngsters. Who do you want? Do you want to play?
No, I want
Bro, I
good
want
players.
Declan Rice. I want Declan
good
Rice on the
players.
Italian national team.
I don't-
Barella's good.
I
Bastoni's
want
amazing.
young players to play in Serie A. Play in Serie A.
Pizzilli, Ricci.
The Azzurri should be the collection of the 23 best Italian players. You can't convince me that Pisili's already a top 23
No, but that's
Italian player.
experimental.
We already
Yeah.
made it out of the groups. Why not develop our young talent? That's literally Spalletti what he's trying to do.
Because then when we get to the tournament, you're gonna be like, oh, the team's so disorganized, man. Spalletti should have figured this out before.
Okay, he had a bad Euros. I think that's universal. Everyone says it, but then
Chiesa got his career out of being a star for the national team as a youngster.
No, that's a lie.
Bro,
Brother,
without
he was one of Fiorentina's best players.
Fiorentina's best players.
Yes.
So now being Fiorentina's best player matters to you.
Fiorentina, there's a difference between Monza and Fiorentina. And there was a difference between what he was doing at Fiorentina, and what Daniel Maldini's doing
Listen,
now.
no, but we're
And
not
Pisili comes off the bench and
Bro.
scores 2 goals for Roma, and then now he's getting playtime for the
Bro,
Azzurri.
bro,
The bar
well,
is
he's
in
a-
hell.
are you
He's been a starter for
The
Roma in the past
bar is
games.
in hell, like
Bro,
Firms did in the YouTube video,
how are
like
you-
the Rodri, like this.
No,
How
you're
are you?
wrong.
How are
You're
you
wrong.
so defensive against Daniel Maldini? I have no issues with youngsters getting called
Because
up. It
If the
builds-
results are there,
Yes,
we
it really
basically
doesn't
we
matter.
basically dominated Belgium before, like aside from the red card,
Did,
we
a player,
dominated
did
Belgium.
Berardi get called up or no?
No.
No, why would he get called up?
Brother, that player is significantly better.
He plays in Serie B right
my
now.
I
God.
don't care. He
Enough,
can play in
enough.
Turkey. He's still better than Daniel Maldini and
Bro,
Pisili.
bro, you're
Maldini
wrong.
didn't even play. I don't understand this
Bro,
argument.
You
What do
realize Berardi's time is done at the Azzurri. Like he's had his
But
his
he's still
place.
look.
Bro,
I
you're
think
just-
he's
you're-
terrible, but Right
he's just
now,
being stupid.
no.
That's just so contradictory, bro. It makes no sense keeping all. Like, I'm sorry, Berardi. Individually, he might be good, but he takes up a spot in the squad for someone that's
For a
developing.
developing youngster.
It just-
developing, let him develop in the U21s or U23s for Italy, and then
been
also
what do you think he's been doing?
play in Serie A. Let him play in
Let
Serie A.
Mino
But
develop in the U21s.
Let him
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
because Minu is actually one of England's best midfielders.
but let him develop
He's
in the
played for
U21s.
Manchester United. He's proven game after game that he's
But
one of
that's
the best
'cause you watch him
midfielders
more.
in the league. No, Pisili has a couple sub appearances for
stop
Roma.
talking about Pizzilli. Barely
because he got
played.
called up.
Talk about Ricci. Ricci was excellent.
Samuel Ricci has years of experience in Serie A. It's different.
Barely, bro.
He earned He earned that call up to the Azzurri.
Okay.
A motherfucker like
Pizzilli-
sorry, I swore. A motherfucker like Pizzilli does not deserve to be called up to the Azzurri.
So what? Lamine Yamal doesn't deserve it.
No,
Bro,
but that's the
he's
come
17, he's too
on,
young.
bro.
What
You're
I-
comparing
he's too young.
Pizzilli to Lamine Yamal,
no,
who's
I'm
just
not.
the
I'm
best
just saying
player
he's
at
too
the
young.
Euros.
What I don't understand, Vavra, it's we're not calling up Pisili to hope that he becomes a foundational player, a pillar for the Azzurri. We're not calling up Daniele Maldini to be a pillar of the Italian
They're
national
taking
team.
up space then.
But who else
is
would you
better?
pay?
Okay, let's tone it down. Let's tone it down for a second. Let's go through England's bench. Why these brothers are getting called up?
Yeah,
Every single player has years of experience
Yeah.
or is a current superstar.
and now they
Go
have
on.
experience losing to Greece in Wembley. Nice.
This is true.
Great
They did
experience.
lose.
England they just call up their best players. They're not
Yes.
calling up youngsters.
You could even go to a country like Germany.
Do you want me to go to Germany?
Yes, go to Germany.
I don't
But they
see
have
any-
injuries, so it's kind of.
I don't see anything wrong with Italy's what they're doing right now. Spalletti is just getting a feel for the Italians
Angelo
that are in the
Stiller.
system.
Angelo Stiller has been balling on Champions League games for Stuttgart.
Yeah, he's
Bro,
actually.
who are these brothers? Who
Because
are
you don't
these
know them,
brothers?
but they've done way more in their domestic leagues than
Who is Jamie?
Pisili.
Who
Yeah,
is
but
Jamie leveling? I don't know who that guy is.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah, but
You know
but-
who he is?
No, but but look him up. I'm sure he doesn't have 2 appearances for his team.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm not expecting this. Whoever we called up for this Nations League, I'm not expecting this team to be the be-all, end-all for the next World Cup or the Euros or whatnot. I'm not expecting Daniel Maldini, unless he has a stratospheric rise in Serie A this season, I'm not expecting him to be in the World
we're
Cup.
talking about bench players over here.
I thought we were done calling up like Giaccherini level players, but we're not. We're
Who is
calling up
Giaccherini level player?
Pisili.
Bro, he's like 19. Give him time, bro.
Brother.
Talk about the other ones.
You do
Talk
not
about
give
DiMarco.
someone
DiMarco got an
after 2-3
excellent game.
appearances in Serie A their Azzurri debut, unless you're Musiala, Bellingham. Those are the players that you give debuts after
You're
2-3
acting like we're
games.
Germany, England level.
But if you're not, show up with your 23
we
best
gotta,
players.
So we gotta act like we are by calling up Berardi a Serie B player. This is
makes
the
no
worst
sense.
opinion
Sure.
you've had in
For
a
sure.
while, man. In
For
a
sure.
while.
I don't really see-
You're
I don't-
basically saying teams, international teams like Belgium, like Italy, and I'm putting Italy and Belgium in that like second tier category, should not call up youngsters and not develop their youth, their young talent in the Azzurri and the national teams. Just because
No,
you need to
the
act like you've
youngsters
been here
that they're
before.
calling up,
Act like you've been
the
here before.
youngsters that they're calling up are some of the best in world football.
Okay, but do you understand?
We are
They just
yes,
get more
Belgium. The
recognition
only
too.
Belgium just I don't know if they called him up to the national team, but they have a center back. They have I don't remember the name of the center back, but they have a center back that signed for Ajax. Got like I think he's right above 10, but 10 appearances senior. But this brother's one of the best young center backs in the world. So you're comparing players who are rated to be one of the best players in the world to a guy who barely made it out of Roma's academy. Like you're really comparing apples and oranges here.
Yeah, but
a guy who got sold off by Milan at the age of 22 for free. Daniel Maldini, by the way.
But do you understand that this is always going to be, there's always something wrong with the national team to people, especially like you, because we have always said we need to bring in youngsters.
No,
We-
listen,
No,
okay,
let me,
go,
but I
sorry,
let
go.
you talk, you don't let me talk.
Okay,
I'm
go.
telling
Let me
you,
talk,
there's
let me
always
talk.
there's always something where it's like, oh, we're not giving the youngsters a shot. We're not giving them a chance. We literally give them a chance now, regardless of their current level, and you say, oh, but we can't have these youngsters
this is one of the stupidest things I've ever seen.
I don't know,
That-
brother. You're
I
saying
literally
bring up
said
a
it.
Serie B player.
No, what I said a couple months ago when Italy
Yeah.
lost the Euros is teams like Inter, Milan, Juve started doing it, need to give Italian youth a chance. You don't get an Azzurri call-up before you start starting for Roma.
Yeah, but
That's
you-
not how it works.
Yeah,
He is
okay,
starting
you
for
know-
Roma.
But you can't just look.
He is starting
you
for
can't-
Roma.
He started once.
He started
Bro,
like the past
you
3
can't-
games.
You can't keep the
That's
pool.
enough for an Azzurri call-up in
He's
2024.
19.
In 2024, you start 3 games for Roma.
How
That
many,
gets you
how
to
many
the...
minutes did Pizzelli play?
Okay, the people didn't click on this for a...
How many minutes did he play? 0 minutes. So then why are you talking?
What do you mean he subbed on?
Why you talk? You subbed on in the 80th minute. He played 10 whole minutes. Congratulations,
Okay, that's
bro.
enough for an Azuri call-up.
Congratulations,
At the end of
bro.
his career, Pizzili in 12 years could be in City D playing playing on
also a Nations
farms
League
in
game. I don't understand
Genoa,
what you-
and then he could say, "Yeah, I got an Azuri call-up." Who
cares?
The bar is in hell. The
cares?
bar is.
Maldini played 0 minutes. Maldini played 0 minutes. You're just talking to talk. That's all you're doing. Retegui would have never gotten to this point in his Italian career if he wouldn't have been given
Retegui
starts.
is one of the Serie A top scorers. He deserves
And
an
what
Azuri
happened-
call-up.
Okay, deserves.
And he was getting call-ups when he was shit.
Euros, everyone was saying
What do you
this
mean
guy
he was
should be
shit? He
sent
was
to
one of the
Argentina.
top scorers in the Argentinian league.
He was getting call-ups when he
There's
was
a
an
difference
Argentinian
between
player.
Pizzili. Once again, you're.
Okay, relax. He was a nobody in Argentina. He was
What do you
getting
mean
a lot of
nobody
goals.
in Argentina? He's one of the top scorers in the Argentinian league.
understand?
Did you know him
Just
before?
because you
Did you
didn't
know
watch
him?
the Argentinian, I didn't watch the Argentinian league either. But a player who has proven
You can't
himself.
act like that matters when you would have shat on the Argentinian
Yeah.
league last week.
Yes, I would have,
You
and I
sh-
still shit on the Argentinian
And you shot
league.
on, you said, yeah,
Yes,
earlier
but-
today, and now you're, oh, but,
Bro,
should've
for a
paid
player
attention.
who
Yeah,
has done nothing in Serie A, he scored 1 goal off the bench, I think.
Who?
Pizzili.
maybe he sees potential in him.
Focusing on Pizzili.
Because he's getting call-ups,
Talk
whatever.
about DiMarco,
whatever.
Bastoni, Barella, the other guys.
Yes, but those players are players who deserves their call-up.
Yeah, but also you can't keep your focus on you Inter, Milan, and Juve to develop Italy's
I
top
don't know.
talent.
Daniel
Yes,
Maldini
they
is
could be-
actually the foundation for what our.
Did I just say? Didn't I just say that we did not call him up to be a foundational player for the national team?
Okay,
did
let's
I
move on,
just
let's
say
move
that?
on.
And then you say, did we just call him Maldini to be a foundational player for the national team? Brother, open your ears, please. There's 3 other people talking, and all you're hearing is yourself. We are literally telling you, Pizzili and Maldini are experimental players for the national team. Spalletti is getting a feel for the youth that is in Italy. The youth doesn't just show up at Juve, Milan, and Inter. The youth happens all over Italy. Napoli, Fiorentina, Monza, Roma. Give these guys a shot. I don't care if it happens during the Nations League.
What
I don't care.
What is that
Bro,
saying? What did Spalletti say here?
Okay, so you expect Maldini to not prop up his players a little bit, give him confidence. What is he supposed to say? What is he supposed to say? Oh yeah,
young players are
Maldini
shit.
shit.
Our
Yeah,
youth players,
Maldini
our youth
sucks.
players are shit. I'm gonna call up Berardi because
Don't call up a player like Maldini because he's not of the quality
Bro,
necessary
we've
to
literally
play.
seen Cristante in our
Yeah.
national team.
Cristante has
and he was
more of a
ass.
deserving
No,
role
he
to
was,
be
brother,
there.
Please.
He
You
ruined
didn't-
our chances in the
There's
Euro.
no way you watch the Euros and say, yeah, Cristante deserves an
He
Azzurri spot.
deserves
Because he watches,
more.
he watches
Why? Because of
rose-tinted
merit.
lenses.
That is the
Then
problem with
Pizzili.
that is the problem with the Italian national team.
Yeah.
It's merit. We called up a 36-year-old Pirlo.
No, the issue is that
expecting
clubs
because
don't
of
give the
merit.
platform to young players to deserve that national team spot.
But it's happening right
But
now.
players
It
are
should
now
be-
given national team spots without deserving it.
Well,
Whatever.
we have to start somewhere, no?
Whatever. People
That's
don't care.
crazy work.
People don't
It
care.
should be
People
if you're
don't
good,
care.
you go into the national
And
team.
it was really funny
because
because before the podcast we were like, the intro, like, well, it's gonna be a dead
chill day
intro,
today.
like we don't really have much
about
to talk
Italy, you
about
guys.
today, no.
There
So
wouldn't have been anything to talk about until you brought up that stupidity.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
That was like
crash out in the first 10 minutes. God,
Yeah.
damn.
bonehead.
yeah, that's
Bonehead.
horrible, bro.
Well,
Like,
I
I got,
mean-
like after this podcast, bro, I'm talking about this. That was
Crazy.
bad.
There might be an extra 30 minutes
That's
in this
bad.
podcast.
Okay.
Unrecorded.
On to the actual reason why you clicked on this video. Hopefully, you're still here. If you're still here, that I mean, you might,
Well,
be, you
we'll
might,
put a
you might be
timestamp.
Italian.
You are a trooper.
You might be Italian.
We'll put a timestamp.
And so yeah, what's
But this
the-
applies to all nations. It's not just Italy.
No, but that's what I'm saying. This is a much
Yeah.
greater point, and I think you're wrong on the point. I think teams should be calling up their youth players, even if they're not proven.
You have the red. Okay, so let's do the reason why people actually.
But
clicked on this video.
explain how many teams on each side.
Okay, so there's 8 teams on each side.
Mm-hmm.
It's around the 16. It's basically like a Champions League bracket. So we're gonna go through the first round matchups, each first round matchup, and then the team that wins is gonna move on to the second round, third round, final.
Similar to our last bracket.
And if
Yeah.
a player is currently injured, depending on the type of injury,
Yeah,
we're
like-
still gonna include him. Like KDB.
Like Manchester City, the
KDB.
midfield 3 would be considered what? KDB, Rodri, Bernardo Silva,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Okay.
it's a shame because you have to put out players like Gundogan and Kovacic, but when you have
Foden. Even
Yeah.
you could even argue Foden should be in there, but
they could honestly field 2
Yeah.
midfield trios.
Yeah,
Make
but
their
Depth is wild.
okay. So actually, since we're talking about Manchester City, we could start with Manchester City. Actually, no, that's gonna be a landslide. Let's start with a cool one. We're already warmed up. We've been speaking about Italy. Let's start with Liverpool Juventus.
Liverpool, Juventus, straight off the bat.
I don't know if you're trying to put like
so
press
first,
some
okay, on
buttons
your
here,
side,
but,
you guys figure out the Liverpool 3,
Okay, well, it's Gravenberch, McAllister, and Szoboszlai.
and then Juventus. This is off rip. Anybody that doesn't watch Juventus every week would say Douglas Luiz has to be in that 3.
not this season right
But
now, brother.
not this season. Not
McKennie
this-
overtook him.
Well, McKennie in Champions League games is like in Serie A, I wouldn't start him, but in
But did you see what Thiago Motta said about McKennie?
Okay, this is what's the 3?
Yeah,
don't know.
what is this?
I don't know.
Yeah, 'cause
Well, it
it's
would
so
be
interchangeable.
Locatelli. It would be
Juve
Locatelli.
fan, by the
But
way.
Locatelli doesn't start some games.
Well, who starts when he doesn't start?
It changes every. Mota does not care who you've been.
Okay, so
who
Man
you
United,
are.
when we get to Man United and Casemiro, Ugarte, Eriksson all change,
No, but you
gonna-
start a consistent midfield 3.
we start 2 of the 3 consistently.
Okay, so then
We don't
pick
even
the-
start 2 of the 3 consistently.
Well, you start Coop Miners
But
consistently.
if you had to
Coop
pick,
Miners,
if you had to pick-
100%.
If you had to pick your strongest Juve midfield 3,
What I
I
think
would say
the
Coop
be-
Miners,
Yes.
Locatelli,
Yes.
and then I don't know.
Douglas Luiz.
Well,
but I
at
don't.
that point, it would be Douglas Luiz over Locatelli.
I don't know.
Douglas Luiz is a better player than Locatelli. I'm not
He's-
going to
yeah,
let
'cause he's
4
really-
games change my mind.
Yeah, he's really showing it so far in
Yeah,
Serie A.
form
But
merchant.
I'm supposed to believe
And
Serie A
You're
is
a
a
form
rinky-dink league.
Experience
merchant.
has
You're
shown
a
it.
form merchant.
I'm supposed to believe Serie A is
You're
a
a form
rinky-dink
merchant
league,
if
and
you
then any
think that
Premier League
Locatelli is
player
better
could just walk in.
than Douglas Luiz.
Okay, so we'll say, for sake of talent, Douglas Luiz, Miners,
Yeah.
Kuppenheimer,
Kuppenheimer.
and Locatelli. But it could be Fagioli because I think Fagioli is a better.
Loki, I think Fagioli's better than
Most.
Locatelli. to
I
be
agree.
honest.
and Douglas Luiz. But
No,
anyway,
no.
I digress. So that took a while, but that's
Look,
Juventus.
if we did this before the season, I would probably give this to Juve. I'm not going to cap. But with Douglas
changed?
Luiz...
You're a form merchant.
No,
You're a form
listen,
merchant.
Listen. Douglas Luiz is still a good player, but he's not that elite level player that Arsenal were thinking...
Didn't he just say 2 minutes?
No,
20
because he's
seconds
still
ago?
better than players like Locatelli and stuff. That
He's still better than players like McAllister.
No, but McAllister's a starting midfielder for a team that won the
What
World
would you have
Cup.
said last season?
Bro, no, the only player I was gonna bring up about last season that drastically changed my mind on this entire board is Gravenberch.
Who's the best of the
Gravenberch has
6?
been one of the best midfielders in the Premier League so far this season.
Who's the best of the 6? Would you have said like before this form of this season came?
McAllister. McAllister's
Best
the best.
of the 6?
Better than Douglas Luiz last season.
Oh, okay.
That's what he's saying. But
I'm just saying
before
who-
this season.
I would probably put them neck and neck, to be honest, before this season. But now that McAllister started the season good for Liverpool and Douglas Luiz, I would probably still put Douglas Luiz second or third as the
I
best
think
midfielders
Coop
on
Miners is extremely underrated in the international like stage of football. Like people don't know how good Coop Miners is. Maybe Serie A
people
watchers
know, yeah.
how good he is. But that brother is exceptional. Like his creativity, his decision making.
He's
very,
been,
very
he's been
good.
Juventus' best midfielder.
Yes.
Would
by
you put him
far.
first, like out of all these midfielders?
I
Like
don't
on
know
top
if
of
first.
Szoboszlai?
No.
McAllister has
But
proven way too much
Bro,
to be.
stat-wise,
McAllister doesn't move me.
No,
McAllister is not the one that
he's
moved
been-
me.
He's a
He's been
Don.
very good for Liverpool.
I like
In every
Gravenberch
game that
a
I've
lot.
seen him, he's been not necessarily a standout, but very consistent. He hasn't been a weak link in that midfield
He has a-
three,
he has a-
but he's not like
It's a comforting system for
clicks.
McAllister.
It just
The
clicks.
system,
No,
the system
because
is
at
comforting
Brighton
for
he
him.
was equally as good, and for Argentina he's equally as good. So how many systems you want him to be comfortable in?
he's
good.
exceptional. He could play deep lying. He could play as a cam. He's one of the best in my opinion. But
He's like a Gundogan. He's like kind of like Gundogan. Like you
Fits
can
anywhere.
legit just play him anywhere. He's just a good player.
I think Juve's midfield three still needs to gel a bit more, but I do think that later in this season they could probably be like top 8 in this list, in my opinion. If they're still in form and they're still doing well.
We're still in top 8. We're just playing Liverpool in the first round.
That's the one thing. And Liverpool right now is
I don't know about
I have
that.
more
are.
confidence. I have more confidence in a Liverpool midfield right now than a Juve one. Doesn't mean I think Juve's is
I don't
bad.
know. This might be wild, but
I'm
I
saying
prefer the
Liverpool.
Juventus one.
I'm
low-key.
going Liverpool, not even close.
I think I might go Liverpool. in this one.
I think it's a little bit of a this season tax.
no,
Not
Because
necessarily.
yes, because Douglas Luiz last season was exceptional. Kuppenheimers has been doing it for years now.
But at what point do we draw the line of
And look-
past form and recent form? Like, where do we draw it?
Locatelli's by far the worst midfielder on this list.
I don't think so. He's been
I don't know
actually
how many-
insane this
Well,
season.
yeah,
no,
you're
he's
right.
been
By numbers,
He's been
no, but-
good this season.
By numbers, okay, you
Gravenberch
love-
has been
you
better
love
this
stats.
season than
Yeah, Gravenberch
Gravenberch
has
has
been
been a
good.
lot better than Locatelli this season. And for
You
the
don't
past
you're not
seasons, they're
watching
comparable.
Juventus.
No,
You're
but
not watching
Gravenberch-
Juventus.
Classic.
You love stats. You love percentiles and
Once
stats.
again,
let
I-
me talk. Because you love to interrupt. Locatelli by numbers, by your metric, because it's only numbers you see. Locatelli has been the first or second in almost every midfield metric in Serie A.
Not expected assist, but sure, okay.
Expected
one-
assist for a deep midfielder. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
But
sense.
once that doesn't necessarily change, I think Locatelli. But that's why I've always said Locatelli is a very I personally like Locatelli as a midfielder. He's had on and off seasons, but I do think he's solid. But right now, if I look at a Liverpool midfield three, I feel much more confident in them right now. But Juve's midfield three later in the season, I do think once they start gelling, Thiago Motta has a set
I think
three.
that's fair, Millie. That's very
Yeah.
fair because
Then I could
Liverpool's
say there's a
midfield is being
conversation.
tested by better teams.
Yes.
All 6 players that we're speaking about are good players.
Yes.
Like they're above average midfielders.
Yes. But I
it's just
wouldn't
I would
put-
rather Liverpool's
Yes,
three.
I wouldn't put like if you had to put all 6, I wouldn't say Liverpool's is 1, 2, 3, and then Juve's 4, 5, 6. It's much
No,
more.
it's
It's
mixed.
much more balanced. But
For
I
me,
think,
Szoboszlai would be probably 5 or 4. But for me, Locatelli's just 6. For me.
No, yeah, for sure. I think he is 6. He's not to say that he's a bad player, but he's just not the best in that group. I would probably say McAllister's the best, then probably Douglas Luiz. And then Gravenberch this season, he's been
He's
insane.
good this season.
So, I mean,
I think for now I would put Liverpool.
I could be swayed. I could be swayed to Liverpool. Just because, listen, they're
So-
the best team in,
Because we're in
in the Prem right now.
2.5 to 1.5, or what's the voting here?
No, Firms realized that it would have been a tie, so he just swayed himself.
I-
I respect the game.
Juve, honestly, like there's
respect the
some other
content.
teams here that I think Juve would have beaten.
Yes,
I'll
obviously
say them.
there's 16 midfield trios here.
Listen,
I know,
Believe me,
but
I'll bring up Juventus in most of the rest of the matchups.
listen, the upgrade that Juventus has had in that midfield, actually insane.
We went
Like,
from Rabiot,
Yeah.
Locatelli when he was having
pretty
bad
shit.
seasons.
And Miretti, technically.
Miretti.
He got shipped to Genoa.
Yeah, Miretti. That's a
And you guys
surprising one.
you guys fixed a lot in the
No, it was
midfield.
good.
loan to Genoa.
Yeah, loan.
Okay, so next one up. So Liverpool goes through against Juventus. Next one up, Milan versus PSG.
We're just ripping the band-aids off
so
of all
this
of
is your
these.
turn, Firms?
These are not the band-aids. The ripping the band-aids is speaking about major clubs. There's no major clubs here.
Ain't no way, bro.
On
PSG.
Thanksgiving, bro. On Thanksgiving.
So Firms, what would
Oh,
you
it's
say?
true.
It's Canadian Thanksgiving.
Canadian Thanksgiving.
It's not
It's true.
worldwide.
To our
Thanksgiving.
Canadians,
True.
there's a few of you out there.
Europeans don't do Thanksgiving,
Well,
I
it's
believe.
because I think it's more of a
American thing.
Well, it's because when we came over from Europe, I think the Thanksgiving is more
Columbus?
of like with the First Nations and stuff. Like it's more of a First Nations thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Okay.
could be complete cap.
I
No,
don't think
I think so.
it's true.
Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't look it up right now. I don't know, but
Yeah, I might be speaking.
it's a
facts,
North American thing.
cap,
It's a
but
North American, I'm pretty sure.
for American people, also, it's not your weekend, but happy Thanksgiving to you guys also.
You guys
As per usual.
Firms,
All right,
what's
Milan,
your midfield?
PSG.
The midfield for Milan, it would be probably Fofana Reindeers and then Cam
Cheek
Loftus
or
Cheek.
Pulisic. Are we considering Pulisic a cam?
He's played there a couple of times,
I have a
but he's more of a
question.
right wing.
I have a
I
question.
see him more as a right winger.
I'm sorry to pull on these strings, but
No.
how did Benacer go from being? Is he still injured?
Benacer has been on and off with injuries.
Wasn't he a world class player?
He was,
when we
he
were
was
saying-
really good. I was watching clips the other day of the Benacer Kessie Tonali midfield.
Just to
Good
reminisce.
days. That
reminisce.
was actually good.
one ship to Barca, one ship to.
Well, one ruined his career. Kessie ruined his career. Like that's a fact
How does going to Barca ruin your career?
because he didn't play, and then he
But
went
that's
to
his-
Saudi
Well,
Arabia.
he
And
was
that's a
one of
skill
the worst
issue.
Barca sides, one of the worst
I know,
Barca
that's a
sides.
skill
in
issue.
history.
What was it? Il Corporale or what was it?
Il Comandante maybe.
Il Comandante.
Yeah,
Commendatori.
Tonali Newcastle, but that was a sad
Tonali's though,
departure.
I think
he's
is the
still-
biggest loss in my
Yeah,
opinion.
but he's
Yeah,
still.
I think so.
he
Tonali's insane.
he could have been captain material for Milan,
Agreed.
future Milan legend, but
But now you're stuck with Teo as your captain.
such a shame.
Ship him
Oh,
to
how
Man
the
U.
mighty have fallen.
different hair every week. Anyway, so that's that midfield and
Yeah.
PSG.
PSG.
Zaire
João
Emery,
Neves.
João
Vitinha.
Neves.
There's some debate here because is Fabian Ruiz a starter?
Yes.
No.
But you see, that's
Zaire Emery
50-50.
doesn't start.
I agree.
It's Vitinha, John
that's
Neves, Fabian.
If
No,
you're
but
going
I
strongest,
think let's check the stats exactly of how many minutes played. We'll go off of who has the most minutes played because
Hate that.
Fabian Ruiz
Douglas Luiz shouldn't even been in the three then.
has 300 minutes played. Zaire Emery has
probably way more.
509. Okay, so
Oh,
okay.
we'll
That's
say
way
Zaire
more.
Emery. Okay,
Okay.
so it's Zaire Emery, João Neves, and
Vitinha.
Vitinha.
That's
Those are bijoux.
This
in
is-
5 years that could be like, whoa, that was crazy that all these guys were playing together. But right now, it's not. I don't know if it's competing with Milan.
Are we
but
putting
it's-
Pulisic or Loftus-Cheek?
Up to you guys.
I think
Bro,
for I
Pulisic
think
is
for
a
your
winger.
It doesn't
sake,
change my answer,
Pulisic
but
is a
Pulisic is
winger.
a right winger.
I think for your sake you put Pulisic.
Yeah, but
It
he's a
doesn't
winger.
change my answer.
He's a right winger.
Doesn't change my answer because I think honestly, out of the 6, like the top 2 at least are PSG players.
So who? Vitinha.
João Neves and Vitinha, in my opinion.
John Neves, a
João
little
Neves
bit
is
reactionary.
Yeah. That's
A
reactionary.
little
He
bit.
was last year. He was probably the best midfielder in the Portuguese league. Zach
And
would
now that
agree.
moves you.
Zach would
Now
agree.
that moves him.
No, but it's because when you
Fofana
translate,
was one of the best in Ligue 1. Okay.
one of the best.
No,
not
he
the
actually
best.
probably was
he
the
was-
best.
he
No,
was
he
one of the
wasn't
best.
the
Yeah, but
best.
one of the
bro.
best in Ligue 1 is
Vitinha
not
was the
better
best
than-
in Ligue 1, bro.
John Neves was not the best in the Portuguese league,
Yeah, name me a midfielder who was better.
bro. In his team,
Who?
Florentino Luis was not.
Florentino Luis probably didn't even play 1,500 minutes. You're still going hype when that brother was 19?
I would take it on Milan.
Bro, oh my God. Florentino Luis, that's a name. That's like a Star Wars thing. That's a name
Milan's-
I haven't heard in a long time.
PSG. It depends how you look at the potential wise, because I do agree PSG's midfield it's surprising how developmental they took that team, but that midfield three kind of moves me.
Yeah.
It moves me. Milan's is decent, but I don't see it going further than here.
PSG have two of the, like, let's say these are six, like we did with the Juventus. If there's six midfielders, I think PSG have two of the top three.
Yeah, and it's not like Zaire Emery is going to be lower.
You guys, I don't know. You're underrating, in my opinion.
I actually honestly
A guy, like, would you rather have a guy like Vitinha? I know they're different. They did different
Vitinha, I
roles.
would put him top 3 for sure. Probably the first. He's probably
He's
the best.
first by far.
But then I would put Reindeer second. I think he's better than João Neves. Bro,
I don't know about
I don't understand what you guys are saying about João Neves. I've never seen him play in Champions League. These performances.
Reindeers, honestly, I'm starting to get moved. The more I watch Milan, the
Oh,
more
now that
He's
you watch
probably
Milan,
third.
they get to move.
Well, if we're
He's
putting
second.
Pulisic, he's fourth, but he's probably third.
I think Reindeers is actually a very decent player. He's developed very
Oh,
well.
like Reindeer's could, like, let's put Reindeer second. Jean Neves is third.
Yes, that I could agree.
And
with.
then-
Pulisic is here, like
Pulisic is not here.
is
He's
not
a right
here.
winger.
okay, it's
That's like putting
Loftus-Cheek.
Leao as
Okay,
cam.
you got the two worst midfielders. I'm not going cap.
Loftus-Cheek would be last.
Loftus-Cheek and Fofana are the two worst on this list by far.
Fofana's
It's
If
Fofana's
you had
decent.
Fofana at Man United,
Yeah.
you would be hyping
Bro,
him
I'm
up
not.
so
I am
hard.
not saying
You hype up
Fofana's bad.
Ugarte.
No,
Oh
look what
my
they did
God.
at Lanioro.
I
my
am not
God.
saying Fofana is bad. He's not Zaire Emery, Jean Neves, or Vitinha.
Ugarte's 7 on this.
For now, no.
Oh, sure, if you believe that, sure, go ahead. If you want to just rage bait me, I'm not going to be rage baiting.
Rage bait,
Well,
rage
why
bait.
did they get rid of him?
Okay, sure. But
Grades.
I'm telling you, I think PSG clears this. I think Milan actually don't have that bad of a midfield three, but it's just PSG's is a level up. My only issue is that in Champions League games, I don't think they're going to have that killer ball.
well, both
instinct,
of them.
to be honest.
Both of them right now.
They lack.
That's what I'm saying.
PSG lacks, and Milan both lack experience in their midfield.
Yes.
And in big games, having a midfielder to set the tone, set the pace is important.
I agree with that.
I'll go PSG on this one, but Milan's is slowly moving me a little bit. But
When things
not
start
by
clicking,
much.
I
it's like
think
moving me like
Yeah,
nanometers.
move me like my eyebrows kind of like raised, but not like too raised.
Like if I hear reindeers passes, like I'm not turning towards the television.
I don't know. Reindeers pass. I'm hitting a bit of like a side eye. You know what I mean? Just like see what happens.
Anyway, on to maybe a big
Yeah.
boy.
That's crazy.
However, don't
What
hover
do you
over
mean a
Dortmund
big
there.
boy? Okay.
Big boy and he's hovering over Manchester
Arsenal,
United. Like that.
Chelsea.
Oh, we're just doing one side.
Okay,
we could do
actually,
one
maybe-
side.
No, maybe let's do something calmer before that.
No, I think that's a good one. I don't know.
That's
if
easy
this is a good
answer.
one.
Why
I
don't
think
we
it's-
just?
It's not
why don't
What
we
is
just-
it? It's Rice, Odegaard, and are we including Mikel Merino or
No.
No, I'd say Partey.
Partey?
Still. But
Okay.
Mikel Merino will be in that 3 and come a couple more months.
Well,
Whatever your heart decides.
No, well, until the world recognizes that he's.
And then Chelsea's what? Caicedo.
Paul Lorenzo.
We're including
Bro,
Palmer.
Palmer's a winger as much
No,
as
but
Pulisic is a
Palmer.
winger.
No, but Palmer has been playing cam this year.
Yeah.
Pulisic just played cam.
Madueke has been playing right wing.
Yeah, Palmer is.
Palmer's a cam, in my
certified
opinion.
right now.
Let's check.
So I think we're trying to
Palmer's
move
for sure a cam.
We're trying to move the
You
borders
guys
here a little
are just trying to make Arsenal lose.
No.
So I
no,
understand your game.
because
Your game is
actually,
blatant.
Well, who would
we
Chelsea's
can
cam
call
be?
a Chelsea fan right now if you want.
Who would Chelsea's cam be? He's played cam.
We got.
This is like,
and Cuckoo hasn't been starting, my brother.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Because it's Madueke on the right wing. So
Palmer, Enzo.
Caicedo.
Yeah. Okay, so honestly,
The needle has been moved.
I'll say this: Chelsea.
Oh, let's go 1 through
Chelsea.
6.
Okay, Palmer's 1.
Palmer's 1.
Palmer's
Okay,
1.
Enzo 6. I'm gonna cut it straight right now.
So we got
1 and 6. Now
we
it's
got max and mid.
Okay, and then Partey's 5.
yeah.
Sure.
So now we
Declan
just
Rice.
have.
I would say Declan Rice is the second best, and Odegaard's the third best,
I could agree with that.
and then Caicedo's
So we have
fourth.
2 of the top 3. But the problem is the top is top.
Top.
The top is top.
The question is, does Cole Palmer move the needle enough to win Chelsea this battle?
Low key, there's an argument there.
I don't know, but then you look at like we've mentioned form in the past. Like Arsenal's midfield has performed
years.
much better for a longer period of time. They're more consistent, I find. Chelsea's midfield is clicking, but it's really like a Cole Palmer show, in my honest opinion.
If we're not gonna give that much weight to, let's say, a Douglas Luiz first 5-6 games of the season, then we should not put that much weight on Chelsea's first 5-6 games of the season.
Yes and no.
And to be honest, Chelsea's first 5-6 games of the season hasn't been that much better than Arsenal's first 5-6 games of the season.
But listen, then Enzo for the Argentina national team, there's a conversation there if you take that into account. the past seasons. You know what I mean?
I think you bring that up more for consistency. Like, if anything, that's a detriment to Enzo because he has the
won a
ability
World
to
Cup
be
and then
good.
he-
But then when you go to Chelsea, you're not the best in your.
That
in
World
your
Cup was a bit overhyped. Enzo Fernandez was very good, but him winning, I think, midfielder of the tournament or young player of the tournament, I don't think he deserved that.
I thought McAllister
Personally,
had won that.
no, I think he won. He won an award for sure, because then he got his transfer for 120 mil or whatever the fuck
Whatever
it
his
was.
agent
that
was able to-
Benfica
whatever,
bag.
Yeah.
whatever award his
But
agent.
I think the Enzo look, he was a good player. I still think there is a player there. It's just I think the hype was a bit way too high. after that World
Defensively,
Cup.
because look, the Palmer, like attacking wise, the midfield like seems like, oh, it's Chelsea attacking wise, but that's just Palmer and the offensive trios.
Yes.
Not Enzo and Caicedo. They're not contributing to those high goal scoring games at all. Like
I
it's
agree.
Cole Palmer 3 goals, Cole Palmer 4 goals. assists.
But even if you're not even looking at goals, like those two players don't necessarily contribute as much, let's say, or aren't
In the
as-
offensive phase, though.
Yeah, in the offensive phase. But I do find Arsenal's is much more balanced within the three. Like Chelsea's, you could tell Cole Palmer is a much more attacking player, but then Caicedo and Enzo, it's like they're good in their own right, but like you're kind of looking for it. But Arsenal, it's like you could tell when they're all three together. I find it's
well, you
much
have your
more
box to
balanced.
box, you have your DM, and you have your cam. Like it's the classic 3. It's the classic.
It is
Look,
very
this
balanced.
just boils down to me that I'm going to pick Arsenal because 2 out of the 3 positions I would pick Arsenal.
I think Chelsea beat maybe like
a lot of teams.
a lot of these teams.
Better than
Do they-
Milan. For
Whoever
sure.
put
Do they
Chelsea,
beat
Arsenal.
PSG?
is
Do they
the-
beat PSG?
Yeah,
they'll beat
I think
PSG.
they do.
Well,
Yes, they do.
wait. We're
They-
going to see in the next
Oh.
round,
Oh,
bro.
yeah, it's true. We can't
Spoiled
say
it.
We didn't spoil anything because you don't know what I'm picking.
I'm saying Arsenal.
Never let them know your next move.
Never let them know your next move.
I turn my blinker left when I'm turning right, so I never let
Caused 3 accidents on the
Never
road.
let them know
your
my-
next move.
I think I'm gonna go with Arsenal as well, but I would understand someone saying Chelsea just because of Cole Palmer.
I agree.
Our Chelsea friends, our Chelsea
They're ripping us right now.
lads, they already saw the
commenting.
video.
Well, their midfield's their best part of their team. So
Yeah.
That's
you
all
just
they got.
Son.
That front three.
Well, Nico
that front
Jackson's been
three-
good.
Yeah, been
Nicolas
good.
Jackson.
Jackson.
Son.
But I don't know. I would like if I was building a team, I'd rather have Chelsea's
You're
midfield.
only saying that because of Cole Palmer.
Because no,
Yes.
bro, the defensive solidity.
It's funner to watch.
Yeah,
let's just say.
funner. Okay. Well, we're just making up words nowadays.
we're just making
Well,
fun of
I'm
him.
Funner is
saying-
not an adjective.
Okay,
We're just
gotcha.
making fun of
More
immigrants.
fun,
Okay, yeah.
More fun.
More fun.
Line grammar.
More entertaining.
You don't know English. You don't know English.
You don't know English.
immigrated from Italy.
Okay, so we can honestly just finish this side. Man City versus Leverkusen. I mean, we know this is not going to be close.
But who would it be? It would be Garcia, Wirtz, and
Garcia,
Xhaka.
Wirtz, and Andrik.
No, Shaka.
Oh, well, then Alex Garcia doesn't even start. So then it's Xhaka,
Xhaka,
Andrik,
Andrik,
and Wirtz.
Wirtz.
but I wonder who.
Honestly, that's pretty
Loki,
good.
that's a good midfield.
Bro, that's
but against
a
Man
good,
City,
better than Milan.
But he keeps saying it. Like we're last on this list. I don't know what to tell you. Man City, Rodri,
Last on
KDB.
this list.
Oh,
he
what about
said.
Palacios?
Thank you. We
Oh,
take
Manchester United is
that.
there.
We take that. We take that.
Forgot about that,
Got to
but
count the little ones.
little wins.
The little ones.
But Leverkusen definitely have a solid midfield 3. I mean, it's not Rodri, KDB, and Bernardo Silva.
That's unfortunate.
But-
it's unfortunate they got matched up with City. That's what it is.
But I think Leverkusen definitely could have competed against a team like Juventus, Liverpool, Milan, PSG. Honestly, all the teams that we did above.
Arsenal, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
I would
in-
probably
proven.
go more the Arsenal Chelsea route, but Leverkusen definitely have a midfield 3 that if you look back 2-3 years, you'd probably be like, what are Leverkusen gonna do in this conversation if you just like teleported now? But bro, these last years have been
But even players
solid.
like Shaka really got their recognition in the Euros for Switzerland. You know, these are players that like a couple of years ago, you're like, okay, Shaka, Arsenal player.
Oh,
yeah,
the reason why we
all
shipped him
choice.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the reason why you shipped him out? He wanted to leave.
Oh yeah, is that the reason?
That's the
Yes.
reason. That's the reason. You wanted
If
to
you could have stayed, you've been trying to replace him ever since.
But did Arsenal fans want him out?
No,
Or he just
no,
wanted to leave?
No, he wanted to leave. He wanted to try a new experience. I think he said.
yeah, but
And he went to
it's-
Leverkusen.
It's because like what we're
He bought into the Xabi Alonso hype.
Would he be starting? For
I
Arsenal?
think
Yes.
he would. Yes.
He starts over Partey. He starts over Mikel Merino.
I don't think he's better than Mikel Marino.
God
Who
damn,
do you
bro.
think Mikel Marino is?
Producer
But I
T,
also
get
say
that
that
timestamp. Get
legend-
that timestamp,
You'll see.
producer T.
You'll see who Mikel Marino is.
Bro, I think Mikel Marino's a very good player, but he's not Xhaka,
It's
bro.
easy to hide away. in the
Xhaka's a
Bundesliga.
leader of his
Nah, hide
national
away,
team.
brother.
It's easy to hide away.
They were like the most marketed team in Germany last year. More than Bayern.
Let's see this season.
I think they actually got more airwaves than like any of our teams.
I'm pretty sure they're still like second in the Bundesliga right now. They're still like a couple points behind Bayern, I think.
second or
but-
third, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but
They're doing
this
good in
is Man
Champions
City.
League.
The
That's
matches
not going
It's
to
gotta be
We'll
Man
speak about them more as
Yeah.
the
They're
the
fifth
tournament goes.
they're fifth in the Bundesliga.
How
Under
many points?
Frankfurt, Freiburg, and Leipzig.
Yeah, but how many points?
11. Fourth has 12.
3 points from first.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're right there.
So they're basically shit.
So we have one side of the bracket done.
Yeah.
Now let's head over to the other side. Could start off with
Which
either
one do you
your
wanna start with,
team,
Millie?
my
You
team,
choose.
whatever you. Listen.
We start off in the middle.
We can start in the middle.
Okay, so Barcelona, Dortmund.
That's pretty easy to me.
I really don't think there's a debate, but I mean, if you
Who's
guys-
Dortmund? Julian Brandt.
Brandt's been good.
You tell
Sally
it, sir.
Oshkan. I mean, what's Sally Oshkan doing in these conversations? But let's check.
You tell us, brother.
But Barcelona, you got
Barcelona,
say,
no injuries.
Barcelona, no
you said.
injuries.
So
Yeah.
Pedri,
But they exist.
Pedri.
Olmo, and who do you want to
no,
put?
not Olmo.
Olmo Cam.
Sorry, my brother.
Who would you put?
It would be Pedri, Gavi, and Frankie De Jong probably.
Emre Can. Emre
Oh,
Can
still
is
on that
true.
Frankie de Jong.
Emre Can, Gross, and Brandt. I don't know by minutes if that's
But De
the
Jong
midfield
doesn't
three.
replace Olmo, in my opinion. De Jong is not a Cam. He's more of a CDM.
No,
position.
but Pedri would play more up.
No, you do Pedri, Gavi, Olmo.
Bro, Gavi is...
No, that would be the
The
most
myth of Gavi.
unbalanced midfield of all time.
Bro, they're doing it with Casado and Bernal.
Yeah, but Casado's a defensive midfielder.
Okay.
You have not a
Frankie
single
De Jong,
person
defensive
who thinks-
midfielder.
But more defensive than Gavi.
I
what do you think the
disagree with
midfield
that.
three is?
I would say Olmo, Cam, Pedri, and Gavi.
Who's the defensive midfielder?
You saying Frankie
They're
De Jong
defending
instead
with
of
their
Olmo.
air.
Who's your attacking midfielder?
Pedri.
Yeah, sure, but I don't know.
Okay, whatever. This is Barcelona. Either you can
whatever
either
it
way,
is,
it
it's
is
Barcelona.
Well, that's going to be a problem, though. We got to figure out the Barca 3 because that's going to be a problem in the next round.
Yeah, we're gonna need to.
You guys vote. I say De Jong and he says Olmo.
I don't know. It's tough.
De Jong making 700,000 a week is not sitting on the bench. I promise you that.
Yeah, well, almost
Almost playing better.
Almost
So then, okay, wait. Then you do Pedri, De Jong.
Olmo played the wing. Olmo played the wing
No,
when
he
he
was
was
Cam.
No,
He
he
was
played the
Cam.
wing. He
With the
played
first
the
games,
wing.
he was a Cam.
Yeah, because Pedri wasn't back healthy.
And then he kept playing Cam. And Pedri dropped back.
I have to fact check that.
Bro, just play Olmo, Pedri, Frankie De Jong.
No,
Solves
because
all our
Gavi,
problems.
if he's healthy, he's a starter.
Gavi's not starting over Frankie De Jong.
Okay.
Olmo and Frankie De Jong are independent.
I mean, almost kind of cooking.
Bro, Rafinha starting at Cam over Pedri, over De Jong.
De Jong isn't even starting these days.
Rafinha's been playing Cam.
De Jong is injured. Are you a Barca fan or
I'm saying he hasn't been
No,
playing.
he's fit.
no? He's not.
He literally came on.
Played last game.
Okay, he just came back then, like last game.
He wasn't there for Young Boys.
No.
We watch football.
He was.
By
He
the way.
played. He played versus Young Boys. He got subbed on in the 75th.
Okay, so he just came back. Like he just came
the
back.
facts are he's not replacing a Cam.
I agree, but it's because you think that Pedri's a center mid, which is
He could play there. He's been playing there.
he could play there. Whatever. If you want, I'm see that you're just so steadfast on your midfield that I don't care, to be honest, because Barcelona's going to lose the next round. But
We'll see about that. Barca smokes.
I can't.
Yeah.
Dortmund, we didn't even speak about them.
It's Emre Can.
Pascal Gross. I said Fabian Gross by accident.
Ruiz over here.
Pascal Gross, solid.
a good
Honestly, yeah, it is a good
Very good
signing.
signing.
He's a very good player. I always rated him. He's like Brighton's best ever player. Did you see the send off he got when he went back to Brighton?
Yeah.
Yay.
In the full on, he had a show and a half. Eh?
Yeah, because he went back against who I forgot who they played, but
Spurs, no?
yeah, it was the last game before international break, and
Could be
then because he never was able to say goodbye, and he's considered like the Brighton's best player ever. So
Levels. Picked him over Rangers,
would
by
be
the way.
would be Milan's best ever
He
player.
picked
by
him over Rangers. And you too.
would
That's
be Milan's
egregious.
best ever player.
In the TikTok.
Which
He is
big
better
one?
than Rangers.
Netherlands versus Germany.
Oh,
He's better than Reindeer
That's funny.
because he can play every position on the field.
Yeah, everyone's laughing.
Next one up. Millie, it's your time on the chopping block.
versus Inter.
Bayern versus Inter.
so Millie, tell us your midfield three.
My,
is.
I don't know.
Just say the
I
last
know
one.
it.
Say the last one like
I
whisper.
know it. I know it, but I don't want to say it.
I know it, but
I
I, don't
know
want
it.
to say
I
it.
don't-
Seen him, but I don't believe.
I don't
believe.
Whisper the last name.
Strongest in my honest opinion is Barella, Çalhanoğlu, Zielinski. But Inzaghi has other plans, and he keeps putting Mkhitaryan on as if like
He's gonna change
second
something.
coming of Christ over here. The brother's gonna die on the pitch one day. I thought like.
Did you see the memes? Mkhitaryan, it's your time to shine, and it's like the
Yeah, it's like a
Tutankhamun
tweet, yeah.
mummy coming out.
This guy, I don't know how he gets minutes, man. Like, if he was a bench player, 100% I'd be okay with it. Like he comes on 70th minute, last 30, 25 minutes, whatever.
Little Eriksen cameo.
But brother, when he's playing a full 90 versus like a Monza, and then we have like a Champions League game after, and I see him starting again, I'm like, is Inzaghi crazy? I don't understand.
But what is it? Is it his like? Because
I don't think he's good,
not bad.
but I don't think he's good.
What, like-
I personally do not think. I think he's regressed very heavily this year.
Stamina wise, like
Stamina,
what is it?
just decision making wise, he makes a lot of mistakes, a lot of errors. His
We're not
accuracy's
going to
not
put too
been there.
much weight on 7 games, right?
No, but even last year, you kind of saw that regression. Like everyone was kind of saying, okay, we kind of need a replacement.
Brother, last year you were saying Mkhitaryan. Firms was making fun of you about Mkhitaryan last year, and you were
Yeah,
freaking out.
because he's good. He was good last year.
good.
Hey, he won a Scudetto.
Well,
with
you
us,
found the
so-
replacement.
Yeah,
You're
and I
just
think
not playing him.
Zielinski. No, Zielinski will.
What about
but-
Fratesi? Where is he? 40 million
I don't think-
in the wind.
No, he's a Barella sub right now. I don't see him as necessarily a starter.
Well, this is like
He's not ass. He
is a
scores. He
serious-
scores more for
That's
Italy
an
than.
Azzurri player right there that you're...
Then now I'm
And he
shifting
scores,
over.
but he scores. He actually deserves to
Yeah.
be called
Scores.
up, but whatever.
I agree.
I honestly think strongest right now, Barella,
Çalhanoğlu.
Çalhanoğlu, Zielinski. That's my midfield three.
And Bayern would be Pavlovic, Kimmich, Musiala.
Yeah. It's a little tough. I know you guys are probably going to
I
take
would
Bayern.
personally say Barella and Musiala cancel out. In my personal opinion.
That's a little bit wild.
Okay, I'm
to
glad
say.
that's your opinion.
My personal
I'm
opinion.
glad
know
that's
they're
your
wild.
opinion.
It,
I'm
it
glad.
cancels out.
Okay, let's
okay
do the
with
1 to
that.
6.
I'll take that as a win.
Let's do the 1 to 6. Millie, who's won? No, you don't need
Put him on the spot.
You don't need a.
I
would
don't
say
know,
Barella?
bro. I don't know who's won, bro.
It's
It's
like a
close.
1A, 1B
No, this got to be
situation.
Musiala first. Come
Okay,
on.
you put Musiala first. Barella is
Barella
like
second.
very close to. Çalhanoğlu
Second.
3.
Yes.
Three.
Kimmich 4.
For experience, sure.
Yeah,
Oh, Kimmich. I
Zielinski
forgot
5. Pavlovic
Kimmich
6.
better than Çalhanoğlu, brother.
No.
Brother, please.
Kimmich
Brother.
hasn't been a serviceable player in years.
Literally
No, I
is
think
in the
Kimmich
best
is a
team in
very,
the
very
world.
good player, but
He's
Çalhanoğlu's
in the
done much
best
more.
team in the world.
Bro, you have him in top
Bayern
three.
is in the best team in
Top
the world.
three in your power rankings, no?
No.
They're in
Maybe
my
three.
power rankings.
Maybe three
Yeah,
or
but
four.
now after that Aston Villa game, we're gonna have to revisit. But I honestly think
One game changes
wouldn't,
everything.
wouldn't make it in the Prem. But
I think Pavlovic is very good, but he's not quite there yet.
I
to
give
the
him
level.
fourth spot. Fifth, actually, because Çalhanoğlu.
Sixth.
Sixth.
Who?
So
Pavlovic.
what? You're putting Mkhitaryan over...
No, Zielinski. Zielinski 5.
What?
I don't think that's crazy to say.
putting
Bro, Pavlovic is
Zielinski
so much
above-
better.
He's Poland's best player.
Zielinski
He
against-
isn't.
uh,
Lewandowski.
He just scored this week.
I don't care.
He just scored this week, bro. He's better than Lewandowski, bro. Lewandowski, I know that brother
Well,
scored like
technically,
400 times.
he actually has more goals
but
than
he's
Lewandowski,
better
like, in the
than
last,
that
like,
brother.
6
Really, who did
months,
Fulham play last week?
You know Lewandowski has
they
more
lost
goals
anyway.
for
Portugal,
Poland than
they lost.
You know
Real Masterclass,
Lewandowski
by
has
the
more
way.
goals for Poland than Pele has for Brazil.
Yeah, that's crazy. But
That's crazy.
What I'm
Anyways,
saying,
Zielinski better, huh?
that's crazy. But we're not talking about Lewandowski right now. I honestly think Zielinski is better than
The
Pavlovic.
greatest player of all time.
Thank you for
I don't
putting
think
words in my
he's
mouth.
crazy. I don't think he's crazy for saying that because like
That's crazy.
I don't think that's crazy. What has Pavlovic done?
Pavlovic is insane.
What has Zielinski done in the
but
last 2
Zielinski is-
years?
What do you mean
Zielinski-
last 2 years? He won a Scudetto with Napoli.
yeah.
In the last
And he
two-
was their starter.
This guy
He was
just
one of their
hearing,
best players.
In the last 2 years, what has he
What was
done?
the last-
Napoli
what
was
do you
2
mean?
seasons ago.
He was a starter for Napoli for what?
last
5 years, 6 years?
Year and
Oh, let's move the goalpost.
Yeah, let's move the
Last
goalpost
year-
so that
last
Millie could
6
be
games.
wrong.
Last 6 games. No, last 3 games. No, last 2. No, brother. I'm telling you right now. I think Inter's is
Pavlovic
more
is
balanced.
so clear.
I don't.
No,
Insanely
his
clear,
ceiling,
actually.
his ceiling is clear.
Yes,
But Zielinski,
but
no,
Zielinski
has
right now.
proven.
This is Bayern, not even close.
This
but
is Bayern for me too.
but
Bayern.
Inter
I'll-
had a good
I'll take Inter on this one
Good
just
run.
because it's my Inter.
No,
but
it's very
Bayern-
good run. They beat no one.
But Barella, we have 2 out of the 3 though.
No, you don't.
So
But what?
Musiala first,
I told you,
Barella
Kimmich
second,
third.
Chala third.
Yeah, but it depends who you put Barella against.
What do you mean? But if we literally, you made the decision to pick
So you're
Arsenal
putting
based off
Mkhitaryan.
of 2 out of 3.
You're putting yeah, but that's because
I'm not.
Your actual
Where is
equivalent.
Mkhitaryan in this situation?
Mkhitaryan is against Musiala,
Zielinski.
right? Zielinski is against Musiala, okay?
No.
Bro, but do you
Don't-
understand
don't
what I'm
do like
saying?
that.
But who do you put against Musiala?
But do you understand what I'm saying?
Can you? But once again,
Okay,
it depends. who
Zielinski's
you,
on the left side, just like Musiala. Musiala wins. Çalhanoğlu or Kimmich. Personally, I take Çalhanoğlu.
Çalhanoğlu.
Barella or Pavlovic. Personally, I take Barella.
Yes.
So what
but
happens? It's
it
a 2 out of
depends if
3.
you
Wow.
Put, if you put
Crazy how that
Musiala,
works.
if you put Musiala against Barella,
But now you're just moving shit. Like I don't get
because
what
then
you're saying.
because technically you're moving shit also.
It depends
Brother,
how you do it. Because if
Am
you do
I,
it,
am I speaking? Producer T. Am I speaking a different
Wait,
language
it's
right
'cause
now?
it depends who
Barella's a
you
right
put-
center mid. Chala is a central defensive midfielder. Zielinski's a left center mid. I have not changed a single thing. Pavlovic plays
Wait,
on the
it's 'cause
right.
you see-
Kimmich in the middle, and Musiala on the left. We are
Musiala
not
doesn't
doing
play on the
anything.
left.
Yeah,
He's
it's
not a
hard to
midfield
compare.
3. It's a cam. So you can't.
So then what am I supposed to do? I can't do much with that. Like what? Barella as a cam. I can't
Millie,
do much.
like take a step back and observe. Like it's just the overall midfield three.
Listen,
I think they're
overall midfield
extremely
three.
close. I think they're extremely close.
Midfield
Like,
3 right now.
but the thing
personally,
is,
I think
you got
Inter-
sold. You got sold because if Zielinski was starting and playing well, then people like Varver would have eyes on him and knowing that he's a good midfielder.
But he was
He's
good
a
midfielder last
decent
year.
Pavlovic,
midfielder.
though.
He's a decent midfielder.
Bro, who is and I'm one of the biggest Pavlovic raiders. But who is Pavlo? Like
A 21-year-old that's
he's coming up.
balling out for
That's-
Bayern.
He's
starting
coming
for
up.
Germany.
He's coming up.
Starting for Germany.
And every single one of my midfield players
How
have
many games
over
he started
50
for Germany?
appearances for their national team. Like, I don't really understand.
Poland.
Do you,
Poland. As if, like, who gives a shit, bro? Are you stupid or what?
so Bayern.
Are you stupid or what?
Bayern versus Inter, Champions League final. Who's winning?
That makes no sense.
Who's higher in your power
we
ranking?
almost beat City, so I would honestly
Who's
take
higher in
Inter
your
on that.
power rankings?
I would honestly take Inter in that situation, but that's just me.
That's a little crazy.
I don't think it's crazy. We almost beat Manchester City, so
Pavlovic is
Holding on to that
deciding.
like this.
Pavlovic is deciding games
Pavlovic is
in
deciding
title,
games. Barella
title,
scores outside
title
the box.
challenging
Çalhanoğlu
games.
scores free kick, and
Zielinski is
Zielinski,
not
scores for his national
Zielinski
team.
Scaff. I'm gonna take Bayern.
But Pavlovic is in Scaff.
so
That's crazy work to me. Anyways,
I wouldn't focus on Pavlovic. He's not the
and then he misplaces Zielinski for Mkhitaryan.
No,
because he just mentioned
just
Mkhitaryan.
focus
It's the
on
same thing.
To
Same
me,
shit,
you
different
focus
smell.
on the top 3, and the top 3 is first is Musiala.
Yes.
Second Barella.
Barella.
Third Kimmich.
I don't agree.
Fourth
So,
Çalhanoğlu.
I don't agree.
Pavlovic does not start for Germany. Hasn't played 54 minutes for
Okay,
Germany.
Bayern.
So that Germany that started for
doesn't
Germany.
make change.
shall-
Honestly,
Poland, Poland.
It does not change my
Poland.
mind.
Then you go. I'm okay with Bayern. If we could beat almost every other team here, almost every other team. We would beat Barcelona. That's not a debate.
No, you
would
wouldn't.
not.
Yeah, we
No,
would.
you wouldn't.
Manchester- oh, get ready for the Manchester United talk, bro. You ain't ready for
so
that.
you guys are both saying Bayern.
I'm saying Bayern.
It's a
Damn,
3v1.
really want to switch to Inter.
It's a 3v1. But Inter on I personally think we have a better midfield. But whatever.
You have a better midfield than Arsenal.
We'll see soon, bro. We'll see soon.
You have a better
Champions
We
League,
will
we'll
see.
soon.
We will see.
We have a better midfield than Chelsea. We have a better midfield than Milan, PSG.
I don't know if you have a better midfield than Chelsea.
The thing is that Inter doesn't have
Is
a
he
lot of goals
stupid or what?
in the midfield.
You don't.
Are you
bro.
dumb?
Bro,
Are you
Palmer-
dumb?
Palmer.
We have two of let's say top 5 best
No.
midfielders in Serie A.
because the difference
the
between
top
Enzo and
5.
Zielinski
Who, Çalhanoğlu and-
or
And Barella.
Caicedo Zielinski is.
That's true. This is true. But anyway,
I don't- like
this is-
your reasoning. I'm okay with the Bayern pick, but your reasoning is just so dumb. It makes no sense. But
just let the performances speak for themselves. But
fine.
I
Sit back
think
and
this is
observe.
like a 51-49 situation, and you got sold
Yeah.
by Mkhitaryan, even though he's not even in this
yeah,
discussion.
Zelensky. Fine.
We're bringing up.
Anyways, let's go. And honestly, let's talk about Spurs Manchester United since you want to talk.
Sure,
Let's do
let's
it.
go.
Yeah, Ugarte, where do you put him out of 6? Let's start with him. 1 to 6, where do you put him?
So
Well,
who's
it
your
depends what.
Oh, it depends who he plays, and it depends
what
what
Tottenham.
this,
No,
and
because
that, and then this, and then
it
that.
depends
Always
what
3.
it depends what Tottenham are fielding.
It depends
Okay,
what the
Varver,
field
start
is.
with Manchester United. Who would you field?
I would put Ugarte and then Menu and Bruno.
Okay.
Just a side note, someone said in the comments of the last podcast, because I wasn't there, they're like, Paul not being there, there's like way less argument. I have not started one argument today, and you guys, we've been yelling for the last 45 minutes.
Okay, no 6. Okay, the midfield.
This is
for
Manchester United.
Spurs.
Bro, it's,
Spurs
It
is
might
difficult,
actually
though.
be Manchester
this is
United.
actually might be Manchester United.
Spurs is difficult because they're playing like Kulusevski cam now.
Bro, they start a different midfield every week.
Well, it would be
Let's go to the
wait,
Manchester United Spurs
no
game.
injuries though. So I would put Bentancur.
It's Bentancur, Madison, Kulusevski.
Yes.
Yeah.
Smokes.
Man United.
No, Spurs.
Oh,
Spurs smokes Man United.
so that's basically what I asked.
Oh, I thought you said Man United smokes Spurs.
No,
Okay.
bro,
I mean, brother,
we're on the same
whatever.
page.
one out of this list is either. I would say Menu. Personally, I would say 1.
At least that's a scaff list.
Personally, I would say 1.
It's an Asllani
2, you could argue Madison or
this
Bruno because Bruno's been terrible.
You would put Meno over Bruno.
yeah.
Reactionary.
I don't know. Bruno has not been great.
Exactly.
Manu
reactionary.
has been their better player.
Not reactionary. even no,
Bruno's been
because
historically
no,
their best
because,
player.
No, because last year, the thing about under Ten Hag is that Bruno started well and then it's slowly degrading.
Ten Hag fault.
So I agree. And you see him for Portugal, he's still one of the best midfielders in the world.
Exactly.
So, but you can't just completely discredit the year and like Millie does for Zielinski, a year and 3 months
What do you mean?
of him playing
Discredit?
like shit.
When did Zielinski play like shit? for
Last
Napoli?
year, 6 months he didn't even play. But
Listen,
Because
Bruno's not-
he already signed for Inter. We did the
Yeah, that
same
was
thing with
disaster. That
StreamYard.
was
didn't
a
play.
disaster.
Didn't play. Yeah, and look at
did the-
Skriniar now.
Yeah,
ball.
we did a good thing letting him go. But anyways, he signed for another team. We're
Okay.
not going to play a player
Now
that's
he's
signed for
going to
another
Juve.
team.
Fuck.
Okay,
So you
so
were
stupid.
I'm not gonna sit here and say that Bruno's unbelievably clear of Madison because this year, the way I'm watching it is that Madison's been better than Bruno this
That
year. No cap.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie about that because I can't. I can't defend these Bruno performances that I'm seeing week in,
Let's
week out.
reference while you guys talk. I'm gonna pull up our starting 11 because we did a starting 11.
Yeah, I would
Spurs
still.
versus-
I personally, if I had a game tomorrow, no Ten Hag, I would pick Bruno.
no Ten Hag though.
No Ten Hag.
yeah.
If you see the difference for their national team, Madison, I don't even know if Madison got called up to the English national team. I don't even think he did. But Bruno is Portugal's is their best player.
He's one of the first names on the team sheet.
Yes. Well, Ronaldo's the
Paul-
first just because of politics, but yes.
Whatever. Yeah,
Firms, you picked Bruno Fernandes over Madison, by the way.
I did. But that's what I'm
Yeah, but
saying.
he said-
I think
he said he kinda
to
picked
me,
Bruno. That's why he was surprised.
I would put Bruno first, Madison second, Mino third. Who's Kulusevski? Kulusevski has been good though.
It's
Who's
a
the
very
other
tough
one?
list.
Bentancur and
Ooh,
Ugarte.
Bentancur. Ooh.
I would personally pick Manchester United, but
I'm picking
I'm
Bentancur over Ugarte, Premier League.
Yo, 100%.
Yeah,
Mainu's
Not even-
over Kulusevski though. So.
Yeah. And then it's Bruno Madison. It's a toss-up.
And then
But listen, these guys are losing in the second round.
you can make Manchester United go
Yes.
first.
They're losing in the second.
Yes,
No
I
problem.
will tell you that also.
We can make Manchester United go through, but we're sitting on the same couch.
Man United is taxed by Ten Hag because
I agree.
Player
Is
individually,
Spurs
they're not that.
is Spurs not taxed by having a bad start
But
to the season?
Oh
Well,
no,
that
I
too,
think
but-
they're taxed by their manager being. I think Ange is good, bro.
Didn't we make a video last week? That's
Yeah, and I said Ange, they shouldn't sack Ange.
well, they shouldn't sack him.
I don't
but
think there's any reason
it's
to.
a bad start to the season.
It-
so.
it is, yeah. But imagine Spurs midfield for Ten Hag. Like you replace them.
Yeah, but that's
Very
matter of-
hypothetical,
yeah,
but-
matter of choice.
I don't know. I don't think it would have done better. You
And
know,
then this is the last of our
Manchester
round
United
of
made it
16.
further than Inter and Milan and Juve.
matchup merchant. By
As
the way,
I said, we're going to be sitting on the same couch soon, boss. Don't worry. We kept the seat nice and warm for you soon. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay,
I wonder who made this list. Who do you guys think made this list?
Yeah,
Comment
take
down
a
below.
wild guess who you
Comment
think
down
made this
below.
list. Inter versus Bayern.
Juventus
Milan
versus-
PSG. Juve versus Liverpool, but United versus Spurs. Guess who made the list?
Yeah.
Man United's gonna go against Brighton for this one.
and
You actually picked the shittiest midfield on this entire list for Manchester United.
that's
players.
not-
oh,
actually
Milan's
crazy.
right there.
Milan
Milan
United.
actually would beat Spurs.
Milan would beat Manchester
Milan would
United.
beat-
and
No, they
Spurs.
wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
Bro, a midfield with Fofana is not beating Manchester United, but whatever.
You would cream
Bentancur was a
Bro.
Serie A reject.
cream.
Bentancur and Kulusevski got kicked out of Serie A.
Literally Serie A reject.
Madrid versus Atletico Madrid.
I mean, we saw
By
this
the way,
recently.
Kulusevski was young player this season in Serie A when
Yeah.
he was at Parma.
For Parma.
So
Deserved it.
I wouldn't say he got kicked out. But
Deserved it.
Madrid versus Atletico
And then looked
Madrid.
like an overweight 34-year-old in
So Real Madrid.
as any player would under Pirlo. Madrid versus Atletico Madrid.
Ronaldo top scorer in Serie A.
So Real Madrid, they have Bellingham, Valverde, and Chouameni.
What do they got over there?
But who starts for them?
I feel like I'm missing someone.
No, I would say that Camavinga.
Camavinga, low-key, but
I don't-
he doesn't really start.
He has the most starts for Madrid.
Oh, yeah?
But
Good to know.
last-
Good to know.
I'm pretty sure since Camavinga joined, he has the most starts.
Modric has been playing too.
No, Modric. Yeah, but
Modric
Modric
has played a lot.
No, I wouldn't-
Modric is a starter.
Yeah, but no, he started like the last two
He
games.
played 500
Okay,
minutes.
wait. Let's do the strongest. We've been doing the strongest for
Yeah.
everyone. So,
I would say Chouameni, Valverde, and Bellingham. That's what I would
okay.
say.
that's what I
Modric is
said.
a starter.
And then Atletico Madrid.
Would be DePaul.
DePaul, Llorente,
Gallagher.
Gallagher.
Gallagher's
Llorente
actually
midfield?
been decent for Atletico. I'm very surprised how well he's been doing.
Why?
Gallagher's
Gallagher's a good player.
Pretty good.
No, I'm just saying. I know he's a good player. I'm just saying in a completely foreign environment, in a language that you don't speak, and you're actually playing decent. It's
true.
Props to him, honestly.
Yeah.
So it's Gallagher, DePaul, Llorente versus. I'm still saying Modric should be in that. He's a
Well,
starter.
Bellingham, Chouameni, Modric.
For me, honestly,
Valverde is definitely
true.
there.
Bellingham, Valverde, Modric.
Valverde
It
plays off the
really
wing
doesn't matter. It's interchangeable. I still think Real Madrid.
I
will do.
agree.
It's not really not a debate.
I agree.
I think Madrid, Atletico, they have the potential, but it's I don't know. DePaul, I feel like is a bit washed. Gallagher
No,
is a
not washed.
brother.
Bro, what?
He's changed his role a
You
bit
wouldn't,
more.
you wouldn't
He-
take him at Inter.
maybe 3 years ago I would have taken him.
He's better than Zielinski.
He's so much
That's
better.
not even meant to be a
Okay,
rage
that's
bait.
fine,
He's
that's
better
fine.
than Zielinski.
Sure, but he doesn't start over. Chala doesn't start over. But it really doesn't move me.
But he starts over Zielinski.
Okay, that's one position that
I think
like,
tactically
we
doesn't fit
maybe
in
need.
that midfield.
I think he would
he'd
work
fit perfectly with
Yeah.
Zielinski.
I would need
instead of
it.
Zielinski.
I've been wanting since it's Udinese days. I wanted him, but
What do you think DePaul is?
A hardworking midfielder.
He wins the ball. He's a good passer. He's a good dribbler.
I would
Yeah,
take
but where
him
would you put him on the pitch with Çalhanoğlu and Barrera?
on the left,
The same thing that Zielinski does.
Exactly.
the same side. I think he would fit.
What's Zielinski good at?
passing,
Passing.
technical ability,
This-
to beat the press.
So
Does a lot more
everything
than
that-
Ugarte. Does a lot more than Kobe Bryant.
His
Yeah,
World Cup though.
yeah. Where's Ugarte's World Cup? Yeah, I thought so.
Ugarte.
Ugarte, that's his new name.
That's it.
Ugarte.
Okay, so Madrid is on to the next round. So now we got
Great analysis.
okay, Man City versus Liverpool.
No, this is the thing is that we're looking at names now. Like we got to be able
Brother,
to.
you look at names, you look at team. Man
no.
City have won 4 Premier Leagues in a row with the same midfield.
Look at it from every angle, my brother.
It's Manchester City.
We didn't even say what Manchester's.
Yeah, it's Man
I
Manchester.
don't
City.
give a shit what it is, bro. They could have 6 midfielders.
KDB,
They're probably all
Rodri, Bernardo.
top.
KDB,
We did a
Rodri,
6.
Bernardo.
It's probably all Man City midfielders.
But what if you remove KDB?
Where do you take him out of the equation?
You take KDB and you move him out of the equation.
we got a
You
conversation.
take out KDB and you put in Foden.
We got a conversation.
Trying to make
Take
it
out Rodri
debatable.
because Rodri's injured.
Rage bait,
and then you
rage
put
bait.
in Kovacic.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going Liverpool on this one.
I'm going Man City.
gotta be Man City.
Yeah, it's going to be Man City on this one.
But props to Liverpool.
I mean, the thing is that team-wise, they're putting it all together.
That's why,
they're
yeah.
getting results.
Yeah.
But if you're just gonna specifically take 3 players that you would pick for your team, let's say, unfortunately, City's the pick here.
Yeah, for sure.
But even if you weren't doing that, it would still be Man City.
Yeah, exactly. In any scenario,
And what
it's
if,
still Man City.
what if Rodri, we took his injury into account?
I mean, what would we say he got pork legs?
No, we have a conversation.
Now we got a conversation.
Bernardo Silva been playing on the wing lately.
Moving to right wing. Who we put in there?
So what if we put Rico Lewis as a
We just managed to change.
Okay, so next one up, PSG against Arsenal. Now this is a good one.
We spoke about both. It's not a good one.
I mean, it's consistency versus
I-
potential, in my opinion.
Flirting
is.
versus harassment.
Okay, yeah, you're right. That's I
Consistency
think about it
versus potential.
more, but low key, bro, Vitinha's. It depends how high you think of Vitinha. I think Vitinha is in that Odegaard Rice tier.
He's
Personally,
showing it. He
Didn't
showed
you
it.
say Declan is generational?
But
Or
I
am
said,
tripping?
okay, for me, Declan Rice is number 1. It's not close. But Vitinha is a world class player. It's like he kind of took
Yeah.
that Marco Verratti,
Role.
yeah, kind of took his kind of whole
So I-
flow, word for word, bar for bar.
Icon status yanked in about like 2 seasons.
because Vitinha, if Vitinha does this for a decade, then we're talking about it.
Icon of the sport.
Do it in Champions League. He does it for Portugal. Do it in Champions League.
He's
Got to
such a
take
good
out
player.
that headband though, Vitinha. Bro.
No,
Drip.
drip. He needs like a little wrist
Those long,
bang,
those long
whatever.
curls. The long curls.
He needs something
Guys got
like a
it.
little.
Bro, you're telling me with the hair
blonde
flowing,
stuff.
it would have looked better than just with the headband?
Get in his face.
Brother,
We're just
I
trying to
bought that
scan.
same headband. I had the same headband,
Me too.
bro. That's minus 10 trillion aura.
No, pause.
Or
it,
a
no,
debt.
He has an aura that. But for me, my vote goes to Arsenal.
Mine too.
I mean, yeah.
PSG in maybe 2-3 years, then maybe there's
So
somewhat of a conversation.
who would you put first, Millie? Like unbiasedly, because I know we're the Declan Rice.
I think
non-biased.
probably Declan Rice right now
First?
currently. Technical ability, experience wise. Like,
Odegaard second.
Odegaard's better than Vitinha.
Zielinski
No.
would be 7th on this list.
Ugarte would be 8th then.
Ugarte would not doesn't even have room.
rage bait.
Rangers 9. Locatelli 10.
Rage.
Okay, so
I would put Vitinha second.
over
over
Odegaard?
I think, bro.
Look,
I'm not
I don't
saying,
even like Odegaard.
I'm not
but
even gonna answer because I think Millie's just uninformed in this.
No, I do think Odegaard's a fantastic player.
They're-
Vitinha. When you watch a PSG game, it's very clear who the best player in that midfield
Yes.
is, and it's Vitinha. The way he progresses the ball, moves the ball, passes, everything is just so precise and technical.
For Arsenal, you wouldn't say it's Odegaard. Like stat wise, he's the one assisting Saka.
It's
he's the one-
Odegaard, but it's
I
hard
think-
to see the contribution from Declan Rice because he's a holding midfielder. But, like,
But same thing could be said about Vitinha. That's the problem.
I don't know. I think it's
Like
interchangeable.
Vitinha doesn't give goals and assists, but when he does, like it just elevates him.
I
even
think
more.
it's interchangeable. You could still put Odegaard second. I really don't have an argument with that. Like I don't have a
but
problem.
still, it's a 2 out of 3.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's still
regardless.
But even even if you look down the list, those PSG midfielders are unfortunately near the bottom. But I do think Arsenal go through.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Arsenal.
all right, next one up. Manchester United go through against Madrid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right,
that's
let's make
actually
this
easy.
quick.
Let's,
Let's
we don't
make this
need
quick.
it.
We don't
Yeah,
need
we
to
don't
talk
need
about
it.
it.
I
Let's talk
agree.
about it.
Even
Actually, you know what? This
agree,
is
bro.
when we should have a conversation.
This
Yeah,
is, this is a
What if
1-2-3
they- what if
Madrid,
they-
4-5-6
United.
United.
What if you interchange the midfields?
I mean, what if
No,
you got
no.
Casemiro, Real Madrid?
What if you traded managers?
I think
Ancelotti, Man
Ancelotti
U?
would get
You
fired.
think that would work?
Ancelotti gets sacked.
Would you take Ancelotti?
Yeah. What kind of bro? You just told a homeless man, would you take a full feast,
Take
bro?
Haaland out of the equation.
You just took a starving man.
You never
Do you
know,
want
maybe-
a whole platter
Okay,
of
let me
food?
reword
I
it.
have a farm. You want it?
Let me reword it. Would you take Ancelotti over maybe like a Tuchel or someone?
Yes.
He fits a little bit less than the other guys.
Okay,
I think, like Tuchel.
we're creating content out of
Madrid.
nothing. This is Real Madrid.
That's my
We
specialty,
went from a
brother.
manager debate.
do
We
you
went
think
from a
that's this week?
midfield 3 debate
Who's gonna
to
do
would you
TikTok?
rather.
Go again.
Every week, it's like all roads lead back to Rome. All roads lead back to a Manchester United manager conversation.
It's too easy, bro. It's just too
we need
easy.
a TikTok
So,
this week.
guys, should Ten Hag be sacked?
I don't know. There's a conversation to be had.
Okay, last one up. This is gonna be a good one. Barcelona against Bayern.
For some reason, Barca and Bayern always end up getting
Against
put
each
head
other.
to head in everything.
But I don't know. Looking at history, Bayern low-key smoke.
History. What history?
Yeah, but
was that?
now Barca have a Bayern manager. You can't beat him. Join him.
Pedri, Musiala, low-key cancel each other out. Let's just say that.
I think low-key Pedri.
You don't. I think you're stupid. You don't make me angry when you say anything over Musiala. You don't make me
Bro,
angry.
am I being stupid right now for saying Pedri and Musiala is equal?
No, you're.
I think
you're-
Musiala is a bit more.
I don't know. It's very different players. That's the problem.
Yes, but
Like, one's
the
more-
value, if you take into account value to the team, I would say they're equal.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
think-
they're like the face of their teams. I would say.
I honestly, but Musiala is not the face of.
Musiala don't miss games. Musiala
Bro,
don't get
Kane
injured.
is the face of Bayern.
I don't know. I'd have to ask German.
Yeah,
Bayern
that's
fan.
kind of true actually.
It's not even debatable.
Bro, listen, it's like
Well,
it's
when
like,
a guy scores more goals, obviously becomes.
No, but
better.
even-
is the face
if-
Lautaro? Is the face
Probably the face of Inter right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you could say Kimmich is the face of Bayern because he's been there for years. He's still like the kind of
Yes. But the
At
second
that point,
face
you would say
is
Thomas
Musiala.
Muller is the face of Bayern.
Yes, that's actually who is the. By the way, look, I know I said Thomas Muller has no aura.
I'm gonna come over there
Listen,
and
listen,
spank
listen,
you.
listen. When I went to Germany, he actually had an incredible amount of
I've
aura.
been telling
In
you
Breaking
this.
news. Breaking
In
news.
Germany,
German players have
once you
German
pass
aura?
that border, no aura. The aura, he's an aura debt, I believe. But once you're in Germany, bro, when he got subbed on, it was like, and I was in Berlin,
standing
brother. I
ovation
wasn't
type
even in Munich. I was in Berlin.
I watched the Germany game too in Germany, not live, but like on those TVs.
Freak out.
They think that he's gonna do something when he gets do something.
Thomas! Yes, we're good. He's on. He's on.
Bro, then you don't see him for the rest of the game. But anyway,
Yeah, but that's I have to say that my apologies goes out to the Thomas Muller fan base. I would still say that you're not an icon, but
A little outdated.
crazy
you
that-
definitely got icon status within those borders.
in the walls.
Yeah. So my vote here will go
Well, no, let's continue our. We got sidetracked. Let's continue our.
to Barcelona.
I don't know.
think-
Who do you have more confidence in going into a game? If it-
Bayern, but that's
That's what I'm
not a midfield. I'm just speaking about teams. Midfield trio, I take Gavi, Pedri, De Jong, and Olmo over the options.
There's more
that-
talent there, but
Let's do
it's
let's
hard
do
to
the top
balance
6
that.
again. I think that helps.
Pedri for me one.
Pedri for you. For
If
one.
healthy. If you
I
take
would-
injuries into account, I'll say Musiala. I'll say Musiala one. Okay?
Okay.
If it makes you happy.
Me on my
Pedri
be-
too?
Me too. On my best day when I was playing footy, I was
Yeah.
a demon. But the average
Okay,
performance
now
wasn't that good.
Kimmich, Pavlovic, De Jong. I put Gavi for me 3. I love Gavi.
wild.
Over
But you
Kimmich?
know
Kimmich,
yes, I love.
Oh, that's crazy.
But you guys know I'm a Gavi enjoyer.
I
I,
know you're
love
Gavi.
Gavi.
I know you are, but
I said in the past,
Gavi
did this
aficionado.
make YouTube or no? I don't know
Probably.
if this was released online.
know,
I
there's
said
a lot of
Gavi has
egregious
Ballon d'Or winning potential.
You probably said it.
Oh,
that's why we
definitely.
probably didn't release it.
Or it's one of those lost
fuck are we talking
media
about?
TikToks.
We lost the audio for that
Probably
one.
why you didn't release it.
We must have lost the audio for that one.
Audio got corrupted on that one. That's on me, guys. That's on me.
Get on the chin.
Just roll with the punches on that one.
But for me, I think De Jong and Gavi are better than the supporting players that Bayern.
I feel like I always have to I feel like sometimes when I rate Barca, I'm just giving in to the fan base
yes.
more than the actual like. If the name wasn't Barcelona and it was these 3 players and the other name wasn't Bayern, I would pick the Bayern side.
Yeah, but you can't convince me. You cannot sit here and convince me that Pavlovic is better than De Jong right now,
no,
No.
he isn't.
or Gavi.
Well,
no.
De Jong isn't playing, but because of the injury recovery. But
I don't.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say Barca. I'm still gonna say Barca.
I think
I'm leaning Barca as well.
Okay, I might take Barca too, just because.
But I feel like I'm
Bayern-
doing charity work.
I don't honestly. Now I'm thinking about it. Like if the confidence question,
But it's a
low-key, I
team
think I might
thing.
go
It's a
Barca.
team thing.
There's no balance in Barca's midfield. That's why they're playing.
balance, schmalance, bro. That's all.
They're winning though.
Yeah, they're winning. That's
Yeah,
it.
but
winning.
Bernal and Casado are playing.
I
No,
know.
well,
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Casado's
Yes,
playing.
when
Casado's
healthy.
playing. Yeah, when healthy, maybe
But,
De Jong
but the
slots
fact
there.
that, but the fact that they're still winning, I mean, that's this.
Like clearly,
about the team.
Flick isn't finding
but
confidence
Flick,
in that midfield.
no, because beginning of the season, Pedri was not. Well, Gavi's still not back, but Pedri was injured from the Euros. When he got injured at the Euros, it had not been. Actually, was he injured at the beginning?
Yeah, he got
injured at the beginning. Of the
He's-
season.
and almost injured
Yeah.
now, so we don't
Yeah,
have that.
no, but at the beginning of the season, Flick was asked, "Where do you see Frankie De Jong and your team?" And he said, "As this defensive midfielder." He said,
So
that.
don't
as I
see
was
De
saying,
Jong.
it's De Jong, Pedri, Olmo.
"No,
Makes sense.
It's
Yes,
De Jong, Gavi, Pedri, but whatever."
that's crazy.
Because when Gavi's healthy, he will play.
I don't
And
think he starts
that's
over
coming
Olmo.
from above. That's
You
a
act like
Laporta
Olmo
thing.
wasn't elite when he was playing.
He was elite,
those
but
few games
I
he was playing.
think he'd be more in that Fermin Lopez winger role that they had last season. More of
playing
like
Cam.
switching in between Cam and left wing. No, Fermin Lopez.
Yeah,
was playing
maybe
left wing.
maybe left wing.
But whatever, it doesn't matter. This is Barcelona against Bayern, but it
Pretty
was
close,
pretty
though.
close to be
Very
honest.
close.
But, next one up, Man City versus Arsenal.
Okay, now I have a question.
Oh boy.
I have a question.
Because Arsenal have had a tough route to the semifinal. Do Arsenal have the best midfield in the Premier League?
I mean, this is gonna answer it.
No.
Simple answer is no.
Take into account injuries. KDB, how many more years do you have left of KDB at the top level?
So replace KDB with Foden. We
No.
got that one. Check that one off the board.
Rodri. Well, I mean, Rodri's still pretty young.
Rodri, one injury, now he's ready to retire. I guess.
Well, he's out for the rest of the season and he's at Real Madrid next season, so.
Okay, so Gundogan. Okay, check.
Check.
We got that one.
He's
We got that
still
one
33.
crossed
Kovacic,
off.
check.
Brother's 32, 33 years old.
Yeah. Kovacic was just brought into the team and he scored a brace. There's no beating this Pep guy. This Pep guy, we could give him Ugarte and he's still number one.
Well, he would make Ugarte manageable.
Yes.
Yeah, he'd make Ugarte
Serviceable.
one of the best players in the world.
I think there's an argument to be had.
I don't think so
I
at
think
all.
that argument's a little far fetched in my opinion. Manchester City have done too much, too consistently. Arsenal, they have the consistency, but they don't have the silverware to show up for it. And in big games, I don't know. It's not necessarily all there sometimes.
And they got the numbers too. Like they have depth in numbers too.
Listen, it's different. We always think when we're thinking, we always want to think offensively because it's the, like, I don't know, entertainment value. But defensively, bro, Arsenal conceded the least amount of goals in the Premier League last
Yes,
season
I
because
agree.
of this midfield.
I
Arsenal
wouldn't say
deserve.
because of the midfield.
Because of Declan Rice.
Arsenal.
Because of
Arsenal
Saliba
are
and Gabriel.
second best midfield in the Premier League, and it's clear second.
Better than Liverpool.
Yes.
Yes.
Not even
Clearly-
close.
I would
clearly
think
better
so.
than.
I think it's close.
It's not close.
Right now, off of like just the way they're playing, it's close.
No.
Bro, it's not close. It's Declan Rice, Odegaard, then the bums. Well, then the bums, but
Bums.
got excited.
Liverpool players.
Yeah, Liverpool players.
I don't know. There's no, I don't think there's a conversation actually. Man City's just so much clear,
If
and
you
they've
had-
proven it year after year. They win.
If you had to do a top 6 of Manchester City and Arsenal midfield threes, unfortunately, you kind of see Man City take up minimum 2 of that top
Rodri,
3.
KDB,
And then maybe Declan Rice or
yeah,
Odegaard.
maybe.
The thing is
Bro,
'cause-
Bernardo Silva is
Bernardo
But
Silva
Bernardo
probably
Silva-
actually third.
no.
Yes.
Declan
fourth.
Rice. I would put Declan Rice above him, but
Yeah.
Would you pick
he's
Odegaard
better
over
than
Bernardo?
Odegaard.
Yes.
He's better than Odegaard.
I don't know. That's a conversation to be had.
no.
I think
But once again, 3 of our top 4 are Man City here. So
Yes.
The problem is Arsenal. You put them against the Chelsea, they win. You put them against the Liverpool, they win. If honestly, that's a testament to how well they're built right now. But Manchester City is just legacy.
The problem
it's the
is
history of the football.
The parameters of this bracket challenge don't take into account scenarios. I'd rather have
what in Champions League?
no because but like I said before, I'm repeating. But KDB, how many more seasons left at City does he have?
But that would be a valid argument if you didn't have Foden backing him up. Like it's not like the option B is a fall off a cliff. It's not like you got Loftus Cheeks off the bench, my brother.
I say fuck me for.
It's not like you got Zielinski off the bench, my
Rodri
brother.
out for a year.
Casemiro off the bench.
This
yeah.
could very well be Kovacic, Foden, Gundogan next season.
And
That's
it would
still
probably
pretty good, yeah.
No, it's
still
not
be,
better than
it wouldn't be
Be
better.
probably a
Arsenal.
semifinal. Probably a semifinal.
Probably semifinal.
But bro, even with Bernardo, like even if you get 2 injuries, you still got Bernardo Silva, Gundogan. Like,
Yeah, that's
it's
wild.
Still
Anyway,
good.
maybe I'm just trying to justify something.
Yes, you are.
Okay, so City
Copium,
wins.
that copium is hitting hard.
That copium in my veins. Next
And
up.
finally, the
Where's Manchester
semifinals,
United?
the El Clasico semifinal.
Oh, Manchester City on the same bench as us.
Not a
so it's
Champions League, not a
Manchester United
Champions League.
against Barcelona
Manchester United versus Barcelona.
in the semifinals. Yeah,
No, it's Madrid.
Oh, Madrid.
Oh,
Can't see the board from down here.
Clasico.
Madrid, Barcelona. I'm gonna keep it real
Why am
here.
I'm not even thinking.
We're just gonna roll with the punches
I'm gonna
here.
keep it real here. This is Madrid.
Yeah.
Player for
Bellingham, the
player.
best player in both midfields.
But the issue is that the arguments that we will see in these comments will be, yeah, but who is doing better in the league right now? Obviously, it's Barcelona. But
Bro,
they
make
have
a video about
I'll
this.
keep it very
Make
real.
a video reacting
I'll
to this.
keep
I
it
don't
very
care, bro.
real.
This is Madrid. And if you think otherwise, you're so biased by your Barca.
We do not care about the league title.
That
We do
No, I
not
care.
care.
I
What do you
care
mean?
about
Kinda
the
have to
title.
If you win the
Consider it.
league title, you're the best team in Spain.
Kinda have
We
to
do not
consider it.
care.
But this
Brother.
whole team, we're talking about midfields. There's a whole team around you.
I
If
understand.
Barca win the league title, you know that means Madrid won the CL. So
Give or take. Give or take.
Choose your battles.
Yeah. You won the battle, we lost the war. Unfortunately.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
There
Keep
we
it
go.
up.
Gotta roll with the
God
punches.
quotes. Crazy.
But yeah, I think this is definitely.
This is
player for player, I think you got to give it to Madrid.
I think
But obviously, in terms of balance, it's also Madrid.
No, yeah, okay.
If
yeah,
Barcelona's been clicking, that's
Yeah, but
there's an
clicking-
argument.
But clicking, but not with these players.
Bro, they've started different
specifically.
midfield threes every single game for the
Yeah,
entire
That's
season.
the thing.
Like, would you say that's more Flick's masterclass?
No, it's injuries.
Or
Yeah,
No,
Flick's
it's more
masterclass.
Flick with very
But it's-
good player management.
I think he would like to find a consistent three, but with injuries,
Of
he's
course.
always having to rotate
no,
players.
Flick has been known in the past to use his full squad. He likes using a
I know,
full
but
squad.
Rafinha, he does not want to see Rafinha cam. Although Rafinha's been elite at cam.
Yeah,
been
for
very
some
good.
reason.
He's
But
been very
he's
good.
given Ferran Torres an opportunity at winger. It's not been good, but
Nope.
it's not been pretty.
Opportunity revoked, yanked.
But we also saw who's that brother that scored that came from Girona, Pau Vitor.
Pavito.
Yeah, he's got his chances.
recently. Yeah, so I don't know. I think
Barcelona have good bones.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
good bones. I think they compete with a lot of teams on this list. But Madrid, you could look at it name-wise. You could look at it just trio-wise, anything. I think they are the strongest right now.
Now on to the last.
City versus Madrid.
Manchester City, Real Madrid. Who has the better midfield three?
It's inevitable. You have the two. This could be a Champions League final. This basically. I'm not saying it is, but I mean, if you had to have a Champions League final, you have to pick a midfield. Who you picking?
So let's break down the six. Let's try to go through the entire six. If
So-
even possible.
Bellingham, KDB.
Bellingham, KDB.
Where's Rodri?
Scratch that one off. That one's a tie.
Mm,
I know I
Bellingham,
said KDB
KDB.
better, but I think if you take injuries into account, you scratch that one off.
No, but we're not taking injuries into account.
Yes, you're not taking the current injuries into account, but you do have to take into account the KDB recurring. He's always injured.
so then why did when it was Arsenal City?
No, because I would take KDB for 50% of the season over Odegaard for 100%. So it's not even.
But like,
I'm glad that's you.
crazy work. But
Wow, that's you.
like a CL final, KDB unfortunately would not be my pick.
Yeah,
in
like
CL
his
final.
red cheeks.
Red cheeks, cause
Both
see him down
men-
27th minute. He's on the floor rubbing his knee. Call it a day, boss.
That Rudiger tackle probably got his whole ass cheek out on the floor.
God damn. Seeing some SpongeBob
Bellingham would
SquarePants
have.
underwear.
Yeah, maybe.
No, that's Kefram Turam. Bro, you're wearing white shorts, brother. Don't wear yellow
Come
highlighter
on,
yellow.
man. Come on, man.
Ducks or something?
Ducks.
And then Valverde, Bernardo Silva, that's close
That's a
also.
conversation to be had.
Valverde, low-key.
I think the difference here is
Billy, when the
Rodri.
switch up.
The switch happened a while ago.
The
I'm not
fans
gonna lie.
heard the intro.
I know switch happened a while ago. You gotta listen. You gotta respect game. Gotta respect game. You gotta know when. You gotta know when to hold him. Gotta know when to fold him.
You gotta know what to watch.
Oh, like
dude.
that Lautaro, that's a hold. Like the Lautaro hate sessions through the years, that's a hold.
Yes.
Brother.
Because we know when push comes to shove, Lautaro will be fucking shit.
Fraud.
Yeah.
Why is
Fraud.
Lautaro in this conversation?
Like Zielinski. Like this
Fraud.
is one I'm holding. Like that one's in the back pocket now. Come the end of the year when Millie says, I need to buy Samuel Ricci because Zielinski was dog shit for 8
Remember
months.
the days.
Anyway, back to
But
the
he
list.
scored for Poland, so I think that
Did
means
better
he's
than
good.
Lewandowski, apparently.
Ricci wouldn't be a Zielinski replacement, but whatever.
He'd be
Anyways.
a Çalhanoğlu replacement?
He's taking that Aslani role. Aslani has not done enough. Aslani
Aslani.
FC, here we go.
How did
Aslani
Aslani
is
get
ass.
mentioned? We
Aslani
find a way to
captain.
mention Aslani every week.
Il Capitano, Aslani.
Would Aslani get into this final midfield three?
Low-key is a
100%.
1 out of 6 here. Low-key.
0 out of 6.
1 out of 6.
But the difference here between these two midfields is one has Rodri and one has Tchouaméni, which Tchouaméni's still a very good player, but Rodri is Rodri.
You're taking the.
I'm taking Man City.
City on this.
Brother,
I don't know.
I'm taking Man
I
City.
think I might go Madrid. They got the composure. They got the poise.
now
They got the big game. The big game.
They got big game
the
mentality.
rules screwed over Madrid here
Yeah.
because if we did injuries into account, this is Madrid probably winning, not even close. But yeah, I have to give it to City personally.
It's got to be City.
If you put Modric in the Real midfield,
It doesn't change air.
it does to me.
Bro, CL final Real Madrid.
Rodri's
wins.
still better than Modric.
I don't know.
CL final tomorrow, Modric is as important as Rodri, and that's the top 2 of importance
Madrid wins
for a
it.
CL final.
Try to run for 60-minute challenge.
I mean,
Modric.
KDB tried to run for 30-minute challenge.
Yeah. You heard what I said?
Bro, I did not just see Modric put up that pile of ass that he did at the Euros this summer to hear him compared to Rodri.
Why do you always find the
Okay,
stupidest thing to say?
it's a matter of age. He's also 38.
Croatia,
Yes,
carrying the Croatian
Modric in his
national-
prime is better than Rodri in his prime. Agreed. I'm not
Okay, good.
debating you at all.
Bro,
But right
class
now-
is class is
Modric even
permanent.
2 years ago better than. But right now, current date, you cannot compare a Ballon d'Or podium player.
So how
to
would you
Modric.
How would you rank these players?
I gave my ranking, bro. It's
Yeah. I think
I'm gonna say City.
Number one, Rodri.
I'm gonna say City because I think you just gotta in this.
Rodri, KDB.
You have, you have,
I won't let this be a sweep. I'll go Real Madrid on this one.
that's fair.
Don't let it be a sweep.
But you would pick Man City?
No.
that's what AJ basically just said.
He just
He said, "I pick Man City, but here you go, some
Petty
cherry
trade
I
points."
picked Real Madrid.
I'm not gonna let this be a sweep.
Yes, but he didn't want it to be 4-0 because it's not a 4-0. This would be like
Yeah.
a 60-40 in reality. So he
I think it's.
he gave one
indicative.
vote for a 75-25.
It's a good representation.
It's a man of numbers.
But that he basically just said, "I would not vote for Madrid if we were tied." But
No, I would still pick Madrid.
Kamavinga or Çalhanoğlu?
Çalhanoğlu.
Just put you on this.
I agree.
Çalhanoğlu.
Çalhanoğlu.
Kamavinga.
Çalhanoğlu.
Just wanted to
For
put you
a
on this.
specific role, center defensive midfielder, Çalhanoğlu.
For the role that Çalhanoğlu plays,
Çalhanoğlu.
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 Yeah,
Would you guys, by the way, would you guys like to see, what do? We would do center back?
center back,
Or defensive lines?
defense,
Back fours.
back
do
fours or
center
center
back
back
duos.
duos. Goalkeeper, I don't know. Goalkeeper, gonna be, but
Yeah, but what happens with 3 backs? You pick the 2 best.
Yeah.
we do an Inter and combine the left situation. We just fit them in.
You guys put Pulisic at right wing back?
Dumfries right wing.
The duo,
We do not care.
The duo would
do
be
not care.
Bastoni Pavard, low key, and that goes far.
Last.
That goes first round exit to Manchester United.
Yeah, Delit.
Lenny
Don't give them all the content just yet, bro.
The shit in
spoiling them.
Peterborough.
I'll
Yeah.
make the list next time, and we'll make sure Manchester United faces Real Madrid.
Inter versus Monza first round.
No problem. We'll make it happen.
All
We'll
right.
Make it happen.
Okay, so now
Milan versus Genoa.
Enzo Maresca has just won the Premier League Player of the Month in his first month or second month. Can he now be considered one of the top Premier League managers?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I agree.
One of the top, he's in the top 5, I'd say. And he's 5.
No, you're not in the top 5.
I think you have much better managers.
You're already putting Arne Slot over Maresca?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
You can't compare
Pep over, Arteta over. I would say
Unai Emery clear.
I wouldn't
Yes.
say clear though.
Unai Emery is
Clear.
Clear, brother.
Listen, Enzo completely revolutionized that Chelsea team that
No,
they
he
have right
didn't.
now.
He's just basically
Bro.
playing Pochettino ball, just glorified.
And Pochettino failed, and Enzo Maresca's doing
What do you
good.
mean Pochettino failed? Pochettino, after his first 3 months, was pretty
you think
good.
Pochettino failed at Chelsea?
They completely forgot about Pochettino, didn't
They're
they?
playing every single goal is just Pochettino ball. It's literally just transition after
Yes.
transition.
I mean, bro, nobody would have thought that Palmer would do it a second season. Maresca's been giving Palmer the keys to do
Who
it.
made-
second
what made
season.
Palmer?
So what you're saying is that
Palmer?
Maresca is
Pochettino.
literally
Palmer
just doing
himself.
what Pochettino did, and now he's just because he's bald and Italian, he gets plotted.
But
for.
to be fair, Inzaghi took Conte ball, just remade Conte ball, and then at the beginning we're like, this is just a copy of Conte ball, and then made it better.
Yeah, he revolutionized
Listen,
that.
if you can make better Pochettino ball, counter-attacking football, why not?
I think Maresca still needs a bit more time, just because 1 or 2 seasons into the Premier League season, it's a little too tight in my opinion. But he has the foundations down pat. I'm pretty sure.
But don't let him touch the top boys.
I agree.
he's comparable to Thomas Frank and Iraola. That's his comparison right now.
I think it's a bit too early. That's the problem.
It's
but
early.
give it a little bit of time. If he could keep up this form, I think there's a good chance he could be top 5.
Brother, if Maresca was at Manchester United, he would be sacked already. I'm gonna say that.
Well, that's just because there's heat. Like Chelsea, there's time. You have a bit of time. Young players, development.
Would you, game tomorrow, or for a season, you're starting a project tomorrow. Would you rather Ange or Maresca?
I think
See,
Ange has shown more.
Right
I'd
now,
rather
I pick
Ange.
Ange because he's shown more. But Maresca, I could see the vision.
But even with Leicester, he was a very,
Yes,
very good manager. He
exactly.
was very promising, brought them back into the Premier League. But this was a big jump. I don't think people were expecting him to succeed right away. But Ange going to Tottenham, a lot of people hope that he would be the key for them to be a Champions League mainstay.
Eddie Howe or Maresca? I'd pick
Well,
Eddie
this is-
Howe.
Yeah, but this is.
I might take Maresca over
I'm
this
thinking
one.
Maresca, but that's form based because Eddie Howe.
Eddie
Yeah, he
Howe has
womp womp
proven himself to
recently.
be. He took a team that was what I think Newcastle were actually last in the Premier League when he took over.
They also got
18th,
bought
I
by.
believe.
They also got changed
Yes,
ownership.
but it's not like they got some big transfers, but he's still using a lot of players that were in that squad.
Who? Joel
Emil Kraft was still in that
Longstaff.
squad.
Kraft.
Like Longstaff was still in that squad. Like there's players that were.
Yeah, but these are
he
depth
made,
players.
Yeah, but
Bro, Longstaff doesn't get started.
Jacob Murphy's not a depth player.
But listen, that's I don't know. I find he could be doing better. Like, why is he,
He could
even
be doing
using these-
better.
Is Anthony Gordon
but
new or old?
we're picking Maresca in a time of
Relatively.
He's part of Eddie Howe.
Yeah, but that was a player that when he was linked to Chelsea, all the Chelsea fans were like, "Oh, I don't want this guy." But then Eddie Howe took him, and now any team in the world—I wouldn't say any team in the world, but a lot of teams in the world take Anthony Gordon in their team without questions asked.
We've seen a lot of managers have hot starts and then kind of like wane off as the season goes along. And a lot of times you see clubs make the decision to sack them because they actually think it's just not working. But even with that hot start, Maresca, he still has the ability to be a very, very good Chelsea manager. The question is, can he do it over a very, very long season with this amount of players? I think it's still up for debate.
I think the building blocks are there. That's what's important. He's found his defensive partnerships with Colwell and Fofana. He's found his midfield trio that's been working, and his front trio. Jackson has been finally got going with the goals, the assists. He's honestly props to him. I was not
You're acting
expecting
like
it.
Jackson wasn't good last season.
No, he was good, but to
you
do
need-
it twice
You need
at that
someone,
age.
You need someone to steer the ship.
Yeah.
Maresca right now he's looking like that guy, but
We're
we'll
acting
see.
like this isn't a $500 million starting 11.
It doesn't.
$500 million.
$500 million for the
Starting 11. Okay, squad though.
Yeah,
It's
squad.
more.
But regardless, you could have $1 billion worth of players. You don't have the right manager to manage these guys. It really doesn't matter.
acting like $500 million. Like, bro, you made Inter with what, 150 mil?
Not even. But that's
Exactly.
because we had the right people.
That's
in charge.
management.
We had the right people in charge. The right
Yeah, but
coaching.
Inzaghi made
Yeah.
people like Mkhitaryan serviceable.
Yeah, because you need the right manager.
Your midfield too. Maresca is pulling up with $250 million.
Okay, but
worth of midfielders.
one thing I have to say, Enzo Maresca has made Cucurella look like the Spanish version of himself, like
Okay,
the Spanish national.
But there's
team
a
version of
player there
himself.
because he did it for Spain.
Yeah.
Maresca's just getting helped by this situation. We're not like, bro, Fofana at Leicester was one of the best.
But he
defenders
is
in the
getting
Premier
the
League.
best out of players that other managers
these
like
are-
Poch
these
weren't
are-
able to
these
get
are
the best
all
out
good
of. Like
players.
Levi Colwill, he was not Poch wasn't able to get the best out of Levi Colwill. Maresca is able to.
That was. I'm not comparing. I'm comparing him to the world. Like, you're buying good players. No shit, they're good.
I agree, but I think let's calm down on the Maresca hype. While we're talking about the English league, we might as well talk about the English national team though. So, news coming out of Germany is Thomas Tuchel lined up for that England job. 1, is he the right manager? 2, if not, who would you put in that England job?
I don't think Thomas Tuchel fits the style of football England want to play. I don't think so.
I think for a national team, getting a high-profile manager like Tuchel, it's a clear declaration of your intentions and what your goals are. And their goal right now is to pretty much win a European Championship or World Cup.
I'm not going to cap. Thomas Tuchel is a little bit of a drama queen. And coming into the England team, they don't need drama. They need someone to calm the waters, let's
Now,
just say.
there's a debate on English Twitter about whether the English manager should
Needs
be
to
English.
be. Needs to be. And why is it that all the small nations that are really struggling go get managers that aren't their nation? Because they just need the help. But for the big boys in Italy,
But what if their crop of managers is not good? Like I would say right now, the
Develop
top
managers.
English manager is Eddie Howe. And I would not even necessarily say if you appointed Eddie Howe, I would consider it a guaranteed success.
I think it's a necessity. It's like the same way the players need to be English, the managers should be English. I never understood that rule that the managers don't have to be the nation's nationality. But I think 100% the French manager should always be French. German, Italy, like for the big boys. I'm saying it's just a representation of your nation's style of football. The Spanish managers need to play Spanish football.
I understand, but then you have like, let's say, a powerhouse like Brazil, who they're looking at Ancelotti, they're looking at a Pep Guardiola,
and now look, they got Dorival Jr. and now their team is scrap.
yeah, exactly. Like I think nationality does play a part, but if there's a manager that can guarantee you success like those big boys, I think nationality should be out of the question.
Okay, Millie, I have a question.
Yeah.
Italy appoint Thomas Tuchel as Italy's manager.
I don't think Thomas Tuchel I don't think he's at that level where you disregard nationality. But if a Pep Guardiola was available and
Zidane.
Italy says we could get him
Okay, Zidane.
for Italy, he would never do it. But
It's bro.
yes, I get what you're saying.
Answer.
Yes.
What would you, yes, you're okay with that.
I'd be
You're
okay
okay
with
with the manager of Italy being a French that rivaled us in a World Cup
But
and
that's
had
what I'm
better
saying. But
players.
that's what I was just saying. I said he would never do it, and Italy would never offer him a contract because of the history.
I would
But-
never.
But if you have like a Pep Guardiola that's available and Italy offers him
You
a contract,
instantly need to.
you do it. If he's able to speak Italian, which he does, and he's able to instill his philosophy and the players trust him, it really doesn't matter his nationality.
It does. He's Italian. He's managing the Italian national team. He's Italian.
Yeah, but we had
there's certain-
Cesare Prandelli
No, here,
coach
look,
the
I'll
Italian
give a better
national
example.
team. Obviously, that
If,
was not the
if-
best
if-
Italian manager.
There's been links in the past that Jose Mourinho would be interested in a job like the English national team, okay? I honestly associate Jose Mourinho very much to English football. Like, he fits the identity of
Ferguson.
English football. So,
Sir
Jose
Alex
Mourinho is not
Ferguson.
necessarily... Ferguson's Northern Irish.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
So,
you could.
but that's English football. So, there's people who fit the identity of English football that aren't necessarily English.
What I'm trying to say is, in Olympics, the team should be representative of the country's
agree.
talent. The players on the field in the national team should represent their country, and
coach
to
should.
that
The
extent,
back room also.
The back room should too, because it's just if the country doesn't have a manager that's good at the time,
that should
that's a
take
problem.
into
That's a you
account.
problem.
Yeah.
That's a national problem.
Yeah, but like you said,
That's
I
a
think
cop out going to get a good manager from another country.
yeah, but
I think you don't let your national team suffer because of it. Like Italy has suffered with very, very poor Italian national team managers, even though we felt that we had decent players on that squad. If we had a top tier manager, let's say in 2016, do we make the World Cup? I think so.
Yes.
I think so. But because
But
we
Italy
had,
don't.
But we didn't. We decided to go nationality.
But that's an Italy problem.
Yes.
Italy
No,
don't
that's
have a
not an Italy
striker. Yes, it is. Italy don't have a striker.
no, it's a managerial problem.
But that should be like that's if Italy don't have a good
But
striker,
Italy have
that's
one
an
of the
Italy problem.
strongest
We need-
crops of managers. Like Italy's completely the complete opposite actually of England. We have a very strong crop of managers and a weak crop of players. England have the insanely strong crop of players, but a very weak crop of managers.
it's about finding the coach that fits your footballing style. Like it doesn't matter where he's from, because for example, the Brazilian coach.
representing your national
No, but like Dorival Jr., for example, for Brazil, he's coaching players that play for Barcelona and Real Madrid. What does he know about European football?
That's
he
a
knows
Brazil
about
problem.
Brazilian.
Brazil don't have good enough managers to be managing top teams.
Yeah, but
No,
also
but-
their players.
So what should
that's when you
what should the
outsource.
Brazilian FA do to solve that? So, like you're just gonna say appoint the top Brazilian manager, but it's just the top Brazilian manager you
Doesn't
know is
fit.
gonna fail.
Yeah, he
so
doesn't
why
fit the
appoint
plane.
him?
But bro, I really don't know how you guys aren't seeing what I'm seeing. Like
I know what you're saying
if
is that it
Italy
should
have-
be a rule.
If Italy, yes, it should be a rule. If
Yes,
Italy
but
have a striker problem, like we have a striker problem, what can we do about that?
Nothing.
We have to develop. We have to try to figure out a
Develop
way to
strikers.
develop strikers in Italy.
Get
I
down
don't
to your
even
knees
know
and
how
you
that's
hope
possible.
Camarda turns out to be Jesus Christ.
You just no, but no, I'm not saying Italy. Like I'm just saying in general. Like
Yeah.
every team has problems. They have defensive problems. You try to figure it out. But this is like the rule should be your manager has to be from the nation. They changed that rule because of teams like Jamaica, like where Jamaica cannot find a Jamaican
Yeah,
manager.
and they
that's
got
good.
Steve McLaren.
Exactly. So
yeah, but I don't see why.
but it looks weird when there's
Steve McLaren
when
is
Steve
pulling up
McLaren
for
is at a
Jamaican
Jamaican
national
press conference surrounded by real Jamaicans.
I mean, like Fabio Capello, I think coached Fabio
coached
Capello
an-
coached the English team.
Yes.
He coached the English national team, and he was an Italian manager.
Well, I mean, you
But
go-
he also
if-
coached Chelsea.
If you go back to the World Cup, the Saudi coach was Renard. He
Yeah,
was,
French.
was
yeah,
French.
French. But
It's
you-
about.
Okay, I think we should
fitting
make an
your
agree
football
disagree
style.
about this.
I think it just depends on CV. It depends on what you bring to the table. Nationality depends on, for certain things, but if the manager could speak the national language and identifies with the way that they play football, I don't see an issue with it.
That's
The
what's
Belgian
important.
coach is Domenico Tedesco. He's Italian.
No, He's born in Italy, but he's
raised in-
he's lived in Belgium his entire life apparently.
It's a
Something like that.
But born in
situation.
Italy, he is Italian.
He's Italian.
He's half.
But like for Brazil, a Brazilian coach, like if there's any Brazilian coaches in Europe, then I would say okay, that makes more sense. But all these Brazilian coaches are getting them from the Brazil league,
And especially-
and all their players are playing in Europe.
If you-
The philosophies
if
don't
you
match.
can
Well,
get
that's
a-
why he said he wanted to only have Brazilian
If
league players.
If you can get a manager like, well, no, that's actually an interesting topic as well. We're not going to go that deep
Yeah, I
into
think
it.
we're almost at
But supposedly the Brazilian Prime Minister
Lululemon?
no,
don't know his name.
but basically he wants to force the Brazilian national team to
only
only
be
be Brazilian
Brazilian
because he doesn't want to depend on other leagues for players and stuff.
It's a good type of thinking, but it'll never work.
have fun being mediocre.
It
Yeah,
will
well.
be extremely short term. You will suffer so much in the
Yeah.
short
No.
term.
Brazil
Well,
league is
you'll
not-
suffer short term, but long term
lot.
you might actually fix a lot of things.
The thing
Might.
Is, the thing is when
That's the
Pele was
problem, yeah.
when Pele was playing, he like the Brazil league was very strong.
talent
Yeah, but was
there.
the
at
best in the
time,
world.
at the time. But now the Brazil league is nowhere near these top leagues. So
I think
not
he's
e-
spitting with his ideology,
Yeah.
where like let's push the players from our league.
Maybe you make a homegrown quota, like at least
Yes.
12 or 13 players
internal,
need to
internal.
be
or
from
some
the
sort of
Brazilian.
age limit that like Brazilian players have to stay in Brazil for a certain amount
Yeah.
of time so that they could be like.
But what he
then
doesn't
you're
realize is
stunting
by,
them.
yeah, but by doing that, I think we're getting too in depth. But by doing that, you're making all these players get shown on a big stage where they're gonna get bought by the European teams,
Yeah, but
and then
like-
you no longer
Yeah,
have
no,
those
but
players
then,
to
but
play
then the
national team.
Brazilian players who are, I'm 50-50, am I gonna make the national team or not? They're not gonna say, I'm gonna go to Europe. They're just gonna say, I'm gonna stay in Brazil.
Yeah, because they probably have a better chance.
Then you're
of staying.
stunting their growth because Endrick would probably never achieve his ceiling.
Yes, but
playing
then
in
you're
Brazil.
But
you're
then overall,
stunting
the
one
level-
player's growth, but you're bringing up the level of the league.
realistically
So
need that high end though.
yeah,
Like Vinny in Brazil would never have been Ballon d'Or level.
Oh,
Well, I
yeah.
don't know.
No, but he would
But-
still have the technical ability.
Neymar's the only one that somehow managed to get a
Got
Ballon
a
d'Or
recognition
Yeah.
in Brazil.
Ballon d'Or
Different
nomination.
It's a good conversation though. It's interesting.
like imagine the French league, they only kept the French players. Like that would be a very good league.
Yeah.
facts.
Well,
Whatever, that's a
in
topic
theory.
for another day.
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
This was a lot of footballing.
Yeah.
Footballing discussion.
Very-
It was a good
very
pod.
good.
Considering it was international break, I think we got a lot covered.
We got a whole bracket in too.
Yeah. In between the
the
Ricci.
The international talk.
The Bizili talk.
Anyway, thank you to producer for sitting through almost 2 hours.
Our
I
yap
saw a
sesh.
couple smiles. He broke a couple smiles here and there. He had a good time.
He just finished
That
an exam.
Zielinski talk I saw.
Zielinski talk. He knows I'm
Got
right.
him agitated.
Imagine
Producer
doing a
knows I'm right.
2-hour exam and then sitting through a box-to-box unedited.
Which one's
champ
worse?
right
Which one's worse? Depends on the exam went.
2 hours son daughter or box to box pod son?
Anyways,
Probably laughing. Imagine there's no one behind there and we just been talking.
This is the longest intro of all time.
Anyway.
Outro.
Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in episode 27.
Peace out and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Ciao.